All right, what's going on, Consciouztv? It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are in wonderful spirits. We are 2 days, 48 hours into Miss 2024, baby. And it keeps rolling. You already know what we're here to get into in the ongoing saga of TGIF and Fox Soul, etc. Before we get into this dialogue, you already know what I need y'all to do. Thumbs the hell up out of this video, girl. This is how we are winning out here. This is how we are actually growing the platform. You guys see the numbers, you see the growth, you see the subscriber count, girl, and it's all because you guys are fully participating and thumbing up that video, which I bow down and kiss the ring to y'all, okay? I bow down and kiss the ring, all right? Most of our views and subscriptions are actually coming from YouTube's recommendations, which are the result of YouTube taking y'all thumbing up the video and translating that as currency, as good content, as streamable content. So this is increasing, you know, the marketing share of Miss YouTube, who's doing her part and making sure that they recommend the platform. They slap our content on the home pages of other viewers, etc., who have no idea that we're making it happen over here on the World Wide Web. So This is why thumbing up is everything, and this is why I will seize the goddamn kingdom with much violence to get those thumbs up, okay? Because we're not playing for 2024, just like we did not play at all for 2023. All right, so please thumbs up the video. Moderators, God bless y'all. Please make sure that you guys encourage everyone to share and to like. I thank you guys so much, and happy new year to my ushers as well. Also, shout out to all of the new subbies. You guys see that we're growing. Of course, shout out to all of the new subbies. We do it all here, multi-purpose platform. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital media, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your Facebook, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't give a damn where you lay the link. Let them horse know the real loud, live, and in color. But no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through. Okay.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you guys, we are back. Thank you so much, CL, who says that conscious it is because you are a sensible, kind, and open to our perspectives, that you are successful. God bless you. Thank you so much, darling. I bank on being a versatile commentator and being a strong commentator. We are definitely have always, diversified our portfolio, and that's something that's of real significance to me. We are not the content creators who specialize solely in female rap beef and stir things up between female rappers in order to have content. We are also not the content creators who go around who goes around super chatting other content creators to death in order to be seen and to be heard. We don't take those cheap routes to the top. We work hard, we work diligently, we focus actually on our craft, and it shows. And speaking of showing, right now I am in LA. This is my first time in LA. I arrived here on the red eye in the wee hours. I told you guys last night when I was live on the TD Jakes content that I had to get up real early. I almost didn't even hear my alarm clock go off. Luckily, I woke up immediately and just got to business. I live for LA. I would not be able to do LA socially or as an environment I can live in. Maybe in some other rural parts of California, I could probably reside. But LA commercially and career-wise is really epic. And I got to meet some people while I'm here. I ran into some people while I'm here. I got flued out to do some things while I was here. Okay, the business is businessing. Okay, girl, we're working, and I'm so excited for 2024. And I also have to shout out my mentor, Larry Reed, who prophesied this to me last year. I don't know if you guys recall, but when I went out to see him last year for the Halloween Jones, I think. Was it Halloween, or was it when he flew me out to Tennessee and we went to the Kurt Franklin reunion show? It was one of those excursions, but he was in the chat when I was live, and he actually prophesied it from the chat. He said, CTV, there are more flights in your future. You're going to be doing this all the time going forward. Okay, now I had gagged him and said, yes, he's right, and it's all coming to fruition, and it is a really beautiful thing, and I feel really good, and I feel in place. Like I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know who I am, and I know what I want to do with my life. And it's just incredible to watch your hard work starting to pay off. With that being said, we all know that TGIF and Foxo is transitioning. We all know that there's a lot going on with the network right now because, once again, the negotiations regarding Funky were going all the way up until Friday of last week when he was last on air, when he did the final show. Okay, so we're going to get into all of that as well. We know that I have been given commentary. A lot of you guys feel in principle that I bring a Funky Dineva-ish in essence. Because we both are Black gay men. We're both really educated, articulate. We both talk our shit. And we both have a love for hair. Now, my hair is very expensive, Funky has a love for synthetic, thrifty units. I really give it to the girls when it comes to the hair. But however, nonetheless, we have hair in common as well. So because of that, and you guys also, because of that, you guys have been feeling like something must be brewing. Okay, now I'm not going to say nothing is brewing at all, but what I want to make perfectly clear is that I have not been officially hired to be Funky's replacement. Okay, as touched on tonight in Claudia's live, which hopefully she still has up because we're going to review her live stream at the end of my commentary. She touched on the fact that, the producers are producing, they're figuring out things. And you guys also know I dropped a lot of great gems for how the show could transition, how TGIF could survive, how they could keep the show afloat, etc. So things are happening, conversations are happening, strategies are being put in place, etc. So just keep your fingers crossed, keep your boy lifted, continue to say my name, and all of that good jazz. But amongst all of that is a trillion other things that are happening for me as well. So I just don't want you guys to assume that when I'm flying across the country, that is Foxo flying me out. It's not Foxo flying me out. I have a lot of things going on right now. So I'm just doing what needs to be done. So you guys are going to be seeing me all over the place. You're going to see me in the air, in the sky, landing here, there, and, doing what I need to do, because a lot of the stuff that I'm now being flued out for are things that were in the works, in the background last year. So things are, once again, just continuing to come together. And, I'm not in any rush. So I'm going to let God work. I'm going to continue to just be focused. I'm going to continue to, do what I need to do. And I'm just going to let God, light my steps, because that's the only reason why I even here this far. It's because I'm relaxed, I'm chilling, I'm enjoying myself, and God is clearly anointing me accordingly. So I'm right where I need to be. All right. But I just want to thank you guys, because some of this stuff would not be happening if it wasn't for you guys. So I don't want you guys to think that when y'all are DMing people and networks and producers and other talents and celebrities, etc., that stuff goes unnoticed, because it doesn't. Some of the things that I have going on right now are because the Conscious crew members have been emailing, they've been DMing certain people, certain persons, and while your message may have been left on read and you think that those messages have fallen short, girl, those people have jumped right in my inbox. They're right in my emails, and we're corresponding accordingly. Okay, so I want you guys to continue to do what y'all do as supporters, and keep the cane lifted, honey. And any opportunities that you guys feel you guys can see me in, never hesitate to advocate for me in spaces that I'm not in at the moment, or in places I'm not in at the moment, or opportunities that may not even come onto my radar, but they may end up on your radar. And so you're there to advocate. So God bless y'all. And I'm going to continue to bust my ass because you guys believe in me. I want to thank T.S. Madison. I want to thank Larry. I want to thank Sherelle's World. I want to thank Storm Monroe. I want to thank, all the content creators who believe in me. Shout out to even Jason Lee as well. I just want to thank all of these people because it's not every day that you see a content creator want to come up, have so many incredible cosigns, and have so much respect on their name from their peers, etc. So just in a really fabulous place. All right. Now, we're not here to get into all of that. What we are here to get into, girl, is all this motherfucking shit going on, honey. It's a lot going on, girl. Okay. I don't even know where to start, honey. So let's just go ahead and start first of all, because I want to get a folk time to get up in her. And I want to give Claudia some time to get up off this damn live, girl, so we can play it back. Okay, because she did go live after tonight's episode of TGIF. And, she got into some more things. And, she was reading the room. And she know that the people are hungry. The folk are thirsty. The folk got a lot to say. And so, she wanted to speak to some of that stuff. So she went live. And hopefully she kept the live up because we're going to, once again, play it back. Now, we got to get into tonight's show. We got to get into Miss Carolina SUV. I'm going to call her Carolina SUV respectfully. We got to get into her, girl. And we got to, talk about Funky, girl. We got to talk about just everything. But before we get there, I just want to start off the show by saying, girl, is it me? Is it me? Al Reynolds. Well, let me turn down this background music, girl. Al Reynolds, his passion around money is starting to pique my interest. Is it just me? Al is very, him and money, there's a very strong conviction there. Extremely strong. Not strong with a T, but strong with a K, SKRONG. Is it just have y'all picked up on the strongness of Al's relationship to money? Yeah, I know he used to be a banker and things, but his reaction because it came up tonight, it manifested in tonight's show between him and Carolina SUV when it came to the Dave Chappelle Netflix situation, girl. So hold on, let me just draw up an old nasty visual, girl. Let's get just a little bit into girl. Let me keep it kind of cute, girl, just in case we ever become actual co-workers. Ow, this all in good faith and good humor, girl, okay? I just report the news. I just humor the news, okay? Love you long time, okay? We'll always be willing to lay it low and spread it wide for you, all right? But we got to get into Al, girl, okay? Because certain things had jumped out to me. And, I was watching and I said, you know what, Al, he's very, once again, convicted when it comes to money. The show kind of did open up tonight with, okay, let's go into Claudia first, okay? It did open up with Al and Claudia addressing the big elephant in the room, which is Funky Dineva's absence from the show, his departure from the show. And I want to say for Claudia Jordan is a class act. She brought Al and Funky to the table. She works her ass off, and she's been committed to doing what needs to be done to bring us the content that we all have come to love and enjoy over at Fox Soul. And just between her travels and between also how quick everything happened, obviously, because as Funky said himself in his own video, that literally negotiations were happening up until the morning of, girl, the live stream, girl. Like, things tied up just that quick, which means that Al had no idea. Claudia was still on vacation, had no idea what the end result. Funky that even himself didn't even know what the end result of everything would be up until the clock struck 12. And so to go from probably, I'm going to assume that Claudia expected, Funky to be a returning figure. Funky, especially when they started doing the studio runs, he expressed his excitement, um, and being able to do this in person. And so, there was reasonable joyous from everybody, from the group, and certainly from Funky's reaction to the show picking up more steam, going more viral, the growth of the platform, to them now also doing in-person shows, that I'm going to assume that Claudia also expected Funky Dineva to, probably be a returning castmate. So I can only imagine being accustomed and familiar to a group experience, bringing your friends into this, being on vacation, the New Year's coming in, you're probably expecting more familiarity and that stability to still be there, and to kind of come back into the country, and then all of this has happened. And there hasn't, and this wasn't something that they were all dealing with independently, because as Funky said, nobody knew what it was going to be. But that doesn't mean that Al and Claudia just did not make their assumptions that everything was going to be okay, that he would renew his contract. So to come back in and to deal with this abrupt, dramatic change probably has been wild. I'm sure there's been some emotion there. I'm sure that, there is obviously sadness there. Al certainly expressed, his grief and his sadness. We know Al, oftentimes him and Funky, they bounce off of each other. He got his cackles off of Funky, etc. Him and Funky have a personal relationship. They were doing the Essence Festival together. We all know they vacation together. So there is a sense of like personhood amongst this group of individuals. So for Claudia to kind of deal with the abruptness of all of this and to kind of come back into the country and see something that they've all been a part of and been creating for 4 years, and that one of the relatives metaphorically found their own spot and was going to be moving out, while you're happy for them and you support them and you respect them and you stand by, their reasons for getting their own place. Nonetheless, it still must be incredibly disappointing and sad to see. So the way she handled the situation, I just felt like it was really stellar. It was really stellar. And it was actually so stellar. What's going on, Tyrus? Hey, y'all. It was so stellar. It was so professional. It was so encompassing that honestly, it impressed me. It makes me want to do even better with also handling adversity really well, and understanding that there is a viewing audience and there are optics involved, and to just move accordingly. And that's also a lot of the reason why you guys are not going to see me engaging certain things that are happening right now in the YouTube space by people who you all thought, you know, I was cool with, etc., blah, 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 because all of that is a part of me just having bigger fish to fry. I got shit to actually do. I am booked. I am busy. I am grown. I have grown man ass priorities. And I'm going to always say what I need to say, but I'm not about to allow somebody to suck off my energy, and I'm not about to engage in unnecessary back and forth. I'm going to do what need to be done and address what need to be addressed. And then, bitch, I'm booked and I'm motherfucking busy. Okay? You can stay in a padded room and deal with yourself, you know, every day for all I give a damn. You know, I don't got nothing to do with none of that. So this was right on cue. All right. So shout out to Claudia. Now, Claudia did say something really interesting. She left a little Easter egg, okay? But rightfully so. She had a right to speak to it because it was spoken openly and publicly. You guys know that the big 12-minute spiel from Funky Dineva regarding leaving TGIF was the lack of pay wage. There's some unresolved dispute around salary, etc. And that's what led to him just going ahead and getting in his rocket and blasting the hell off. And Claudia, you know, she did make it clear, girl, that, you know, the way that Funky kind of did the commentary, girl, might have made it seem like they're over there working for pennies on a dollar, and that's not the case. And as I stated to you all in yesterday's live stream, they're making six-figure rings, girl. They're making good money over there. So Claudia, she made sure to say, girl, please don't interpret Funky's situation with those who sign his check and those who he negotiate his contracts with to translate as, girl, we're all broke, struggling, can't keep our lights on, and that we're over here being slaves, because that's not the case, honey. Okay, we see once again, Claudia always got new weave, new fusions, new bundles, new clip-ins, girl. She's always traversing the continent, baby. And once again, as she also said tonight, if y'all believe, and she echoed my sentiments on yesterday, if you guys believe that Funky Dineva is sitting his ass down 5 days a damn week for pennies on a white man's dollar, especially when, to his point and perspective, he already lives good and makes good on what he does on YouTube and get from Google AdSense along with his investments, period. You know, he could be doing nothing rather than doing the panel and the show 5 days a week, because he can make that continuing to do his content on YouTube as he stated. So you have to know that Funky was also being paid and compensated well. Now, that also does not mean that he was getting paid what he felt he was worth or what would make doing this 5 days a week worth it for him. But he was being compensated well. Now, let's get into our Reynolds girl. Okay, because there was a guest host, and we're going to get into the guest host, who also is a working employee at Fox Soul 2, Miss Carolina SUV. I love calling her Carolina SUV. You know, that's such a cackle to me. There was a moment, okay, before we get into reviewing her contribution to the panel. We know she also stood in for Claudia when Claudia was on vacation this year from TGIF, etc. there's a moment on tonight's show between Carolina SUV and Al that got real spicy. And Al was clearly triggered up, okay, as he has been before. And I want to say that it was Dr. Heavenly who stood in for Funky, I believe, on TGIF, who also got into a very spicy, contentious back and forth with Al, who clearly was triggered up because of what Dr. Heavenly's commentary was alluding to, because it kind of fit the bill with his own previous marriage to Star Jones. And this moment between Al and Carolina SUV, once again, it was escalated over money. And so, as I'm watching them go back and forth and him avenging Funky Dineva's absence, as well as being triggered over this $62 million commentary they having, I was thinking to myself that, girl, I hope that Al Reynolds don't blow his damn BBL arguing with this damn woman, okay? Because the way his poverty trauma was triggered by Carolina SUV, saying that there should not have been no penalties for folk recording at the Dave Chappelle Netflix show, despite it being contractual for folk to give up their phones at the door to protect the integrity of the show until its premiere. It made me curious about Al's origin story, because the way Al talked about choosing the bag over love and trading his soul out to gain the world, he must have been eating balagna and dry beans the whole 18 years of his youth, because I ain't never met somebody so mild-mannered yet so convicted and gets real knuck and buck, baby, when it comes to the moolah and the sustainability of it. So I said, you know what, let me see what I can find on Al, like in terms of his upbringing, girl, because I want to know, like, where does this push and pull come from? And I did a little digging, and it seems as though, because I saw that most of the information about Al is in relationship to his previous marriage to Star Jones, who served his walking papers to him after she allegedly felt that he was dick riding her success after marrying in 2004 in this elaborate wedding ceremony to Al Reynolds, who worked in banking at the time before he was working in Star Jones' ass full time, okay? And apparently Star Jones felt like she was doing all the damn work while Al was resting in his damn femininity, and the man in her eventually could not respect the woman in him. So her and her damn wig flew down to the divorce court faster than lightning, striking during a damn chemical storm, baby. Okay? Faster than this, bitch. And during the divorce proceedings, Star wanted a mutual gag order put on them both, prohibiting them from making disparaging remarks about one another, any existing relatives, and future partners that they might have going forward, and to put a zip on them lips regarding the ins and outs of their damn relationship. Okay? Now, Al Reynolds signed the agreement, but petitioned the courts to enforce the penalty on Star Jones after she went on the Wendy Williams show and shared that the wedding to Al was fabulous, but that the relationship, and I quote, was booty. My God, today. Well, that penalty was a $50,000 one, because in the clause of the injunction mutually signed by them both was listed a $50,000 fee for breach of the injunction order. So, girl, I'm getting the feeling that Al feels like love is easier to obtain than money because what he probably is calling love ain't nothing more than sexual attraction, which can be found at any left and right turn on the street corner. Unlike money, which takes a bit of a skill set and a certain psychology to muster and then sustain and bulk of. So I wouldn't be surprised if Al is a bit of an opportunist because material solidarity is his priority and not necessarily matters of the heart. But this still does not speak to where the craving comes from regarding money. So I still got questions about I'm just curious about his upbringing and his origin story, and whether his love for money was birthed out of living in a trailer park and drinking out of pickle jars, or rather it was birthed out of having a privileged upbringing. What y'all think? J990 says Al would do. Hey, but at least he proud of it, baby. He stands in his shit, bitch. Okay, shit, he let it be known, girl. I catch flights first and then feelings after. And I ain't mad at it. All right. Now, tonight's show, we all knew, as predicted, as stated in yesterday's commentary, girl, was going to be a shit show. Some of the fans are goddamn outraged, girl. There was a lot of tomato throwing. There was a lot of pay Funky for his work. There was a lot of when is Funky coming back. There was a lot of rhetorical rhetoric on and on and on and on and damn on. All right. The fans, for one, were going up for CTV. Shout out to that. I'm glad Fox Soul did not take a hiatus like they did when the Chloe Bailey stuff brought Funky under fire, which then producers felt brought TGIF under fire. So everybody immediately went on vacation for a week. I'm glad they're actually pushing through the controversy because this is actually great marketing. I know sometimes it's hard to stand up when the block is hot and people are doing the most, but this is honestly also a great time to show up. If your focus is your click and your views, you're going to benefit the most at your most controversial moments. So their clicks are clicking, their views are viewing, and whoever owns the Fox Soul YouTube channel, girl, they're going to get a cute check. Okay, on the 28th, girl. Okay, the Google AdSense is going to be Googling. So it's epic marketing on their part to push through, allow these folk to engage the platform, because all that shit just really helps TGIF, even the haters. And that's what's interesting about YouTube, is that it does not make a distinction between whether the people watching you love you or hate you. It all benefits you as a viewer nonetheless, because a click and a view is a click and a view. Engagement is engagement. It doesn't matter whether these hoes watching you to hate on you. It don't matter whether they watching you to spite you. It don't matter whether they doing none of that. Okay? It's going to translate as one thing. A click. A click translates as another thing. Moolah. Moolah translates to your motherfucking banking account. All right? So the girls are pushing through over on Miss TGIF, rightfully so. Now, fans thought that Funky Dineva was in the damn chat. Did I screenshot this? Okay, I have a screenshot somewhere on my computer. Hold on. Because there was a Funky profile in the chat. People thought it was Funky. People were gagging. Let me see here. Shout out to the missus. I see her coming in here as well from the show over on TGIF tonight, going up for the King of all Kings, CT motherfucking V. But there was a fake profile, girl. It was not the real Funky Dineva. For the idiots in the back, when YouTubers have blue check marks by their name, it's also going to show up in the live chat. Okay, so if you see a Funky Dineva profile that does not have a blue verified check mark on it, it is a troll account. And of course, the troll account was trolling, girl. The troll account was throwing tomatoes as well. The troll account was saying, girl, I'm just here to see who they gonna have up here. Then I'm going to grab me some crab legs, etc. Girl. It was not Funky Dineva, but Funky has responded to the departure and tonight's live stream, and more than likely probably responded because that troll account was in there imitating him, and he did not want that troll account to control his narrative. Okay, so we're going to get into that as well. But before we do, speaking of tonight's show, and you know, I'm just going to be a commentator right here. I'm just going to be a commentator. I'm just going to be true to, you know, what I get paid to do, which is to have an objective opinion, or to have my own, at least, opinion. Carolina SUV girl was not it. She was not it. Carolina, it was like watching Ivanka Trump brush her hair. Carolina SUV is a very sweet, curly-haired mother of one, but baby, she is in no way of the same personality type of Funky Dineva. I felt like I was watching friends on FaceTime shooting the shits on an off day while the churns was playing in the pool out back. Now, y'all already know I done laid the groundwork for TGIF to survive well after transitioning from Funky. However, I understand that replacing Funky was last minute, but being unprepared was the fault of the producers, who should have already, in my opinion, had talent lined up, knowing that their employees are on temporary contracts that range anywhere from 6 months to a year. And Carolina, obviously already being employed by the network, is already on paperwork. So it was just easier and convenient corporately to go with Carolina as a temporary replacement. And Claudia did say that she will be the co-host for the week, which then we can assume that there is going to be a merry-go-round effect, and that there's going to be, at least for a time, a rotating panel. But seeing Carolina SUV for a week, baby, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna fuck up their damn chances of making a strong impression after the departure of Dineva, because there wasn't no pack to that punch, respectfully. It wasn't no pack to that punch. When you are coming out of a very strong run with a very strong cast, and you now need to replace that cast member, and you have an audience that has grown with the cast, they have traveled the past few years with the cast. Once again, this is like a biological parent leaving the home and a step parent filling in and coming into the space. Of course, the kids are going to object. And the controversy, because of Funky Dineva, brings the show and the brand TGIF into a viral algorithm. So now the exposure of TGIF, due to the controversy and the shock of Funky Dineva leaving, now puts TGIF also in a position to be seen by people who may have never been subscribed at all to TGIF, who may not have even been formal watchers and viewers and consumers of TGIF, which then gives TGIF massive viewership opportunity, which is why You have to transition strategically, and you have to do it well, because there's opportunity to appeal to an entirely different demographic of people, as one person takes their fan base with them, which is why whoever is going to be introduced in that seat needs to be somebody who can truly complement the deal and help TGIF to seal that deal by making a very strong impression, because this is a one-time opportunity, not the rebranding. The rebranding, can happen over a length of time and can happen over time. They can get their formula right. But just looking at it from a technical perspective and from a marketing perspective, there's massive opportunity in this controversy. And they should look. I would have got T.S. Madison on the line. Baby, I would have had to call T.S. Madison, and I would have said, girl, come show out. Girl, give us the T.S. Maddie experience, because it left much to be desired, bringing Carolina SUV in. We already spoke in previous live streams about the science of understanding a panel and the dynamics thereof, especially when they are successful. We have already come to the conclusion that whoever is going to be replacing Funky, even if it's going to be a rotating panel, that panel needs to consistently be occupied by the energy and personality type of Funky Dineva. It doesn't have to be a copy and paste of Funky, but once again, it needs to be somebody who's quick-witted, somebody who has a great sense of humor, somebody who's unpredictable, somebody who can be a challenging and strong commentator, as well as provide that comedic relief. And obviously, that is not Carolina SUV. That is not her at all. Like, at all. Like, I'm like, you at least gotta keep, like, replacing salt don't mean going from salt to olive oil. It's a replacement. So you still got to find its equivalent alternative. And I've seen, once again, so many shows miss marks like this. But once again, I'm not really holding TGIF to the fire for that, because this is all last minute and it's a scramble. But once again, in a way, I hold the producers to the fire, because once again, they know their talent is on contract. So you should always be looking at them with a backup in mind, because you don't know who's going to be renewing their contracts per 6 months, per year. And you can't get lazy and relax into that, because you got a show and a brand and a business to run. So I don't know if they also thought that Carolina SUV was the substitute, because if they thought that was one of the backups, if that was supposed to be one of the backups, baby, whoever idea that was probably needs to be replaced too, because that person clearly, once again, does not understand the science of moving the chess pieces on the board and continuity. They don't understand the science of continuity. We went on a whole rant yesterday about how it's not going to make sense to bring in another cabbage if you already got cabbage, to bring in another apple if you already got an apple. If Funky represented the fried chicken, you got to bring in fried chicken. It ain't got to be from KFC, because Bojangles sell fried chicken too. It ain't got to be from Bojangles. Churches sell chicken too. You know, it got to be fried chicken. So, okay, Carolina, somebody said Carolina. Nah. You know, and no shade to her. She's a pretty woman. She's a classy woman. She's a talented woman. But this is not her lane. And she is not going to be an asset to TGIF in terms of sustaining viewership interests. And if they don't understand, it's going to have to be fried chicken. If they don't understand that, they're going to have to look for certain similar personality types, because that's what makes it what it is. That's what brings it out of Claudia and brings it out of Al, and that's what brings it out of the fried chicken. But it gotta be fried chicken. You have to expect that the ship is going to sink if you move and remove or have to deal with replacing and substituting frosting. If I have a birthday cake and I'm all out of frosting, a alternative equivalent would be whipped cream. A alternative replacement for frosting would not be ice cubes. It would not be banana slices. There's going to have to be a equivalent alternative, and the keyword I can't with Max. It's gonna have to be a equivalent. Okay, that's key. Let me read your comments. SUV, a corner store fried chicken. It ain't even fried. It's just chicken. SUV is just chicken. Carolina gives baked chicken. Carolina is unseasoned. And it's no shade to her, you know. But we're just talking business. We're just talking business. Tiffany Pollard would be hilarious as a fill-in. No, they wouldn't. We already went over this. No. See, all of y'all is what would tank TGIF, bitch. Okay, if TGIF had the rest of y'all, girl, they would be as good as gone. No. Because there's a difference, once again, between people who are comedic because of antics and people who are comedic commentators. Tiffany Pollard is aroused and at her best when she gets to perform with her whole body. So you put her ass to work, as Viacom did. You know, you have her selling tax papers and shit. You put her on a dating reality show because she has a personality for reality TV. But Tiffany Pollard is not a strong comedic commentator. You need a talented commentator, somebody who's anointed in speaking and conveying thought, conveying feeling, conveying perspective, conveying their funny through their speaking. Because TGIF is not a reality show. It is a commentator-driven show. So you cannot bring you can't bring a Tiffany Pollard. You can't bring who's another over the top motherfucker. You can't bring a Juicy J. You can't bring like people whose like way of living is funny. Their way of living, their way of engaging other people is funny. But we're talking about a commentary-based shows that revolve around having topics that require specific thought and perspective and engagement. It's not us just sitting around the table arguing and fighting and talking about sex and just being able to be raw and ridiculous. We have a specific job to do as a commentator. Omarosa could be in. I agree with Matthew P. because we spoke about Omarosa before. You know, Omarosa, she gives good reality, but she also is hella funny. Her shade slices. She's also, as far as I'm concerned, Omarosa is a pop culture commentator. You know, she engages the culture. She has a lot to say. That's what also makes a commentator a commentator. Somebody who has a lot to say. They have a lot to say. They're not in a hotel room with Flavor Flav having sex while their mics are still up, you know, screaming, Flav! Oh, Flav! We're talking about people who have a lot to say about things outside of themselves. That's what you have to be good at as a commentator. Is talking about other shit well. Talking about other shit in a way that's engaging and in a way that is hilarious. Tiffany Pollard is good at being herself. Azealia Banks is good at being herself. These are people who are good at being themselves. They're not necessarily good at existing outside of themselves. Now, let me see if I hit all my points. Claudia is a class act. Reynolds is sad and triggered. Fans go up. All right. So I covered all of my main facts. Now what I'm going to do is drop the link in case any of you guys want to come up. Oh, nope. Before we do that, we got to get into Funky's response. I forgot about that. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Activate. All right. So let's go to Funky, who made a post and responded. And this is courtesy of Funky's social media, his Instagram page. All right. And here's what he captioned. He said, I love Claudia Jordan and Al Reynolds! Exclamation points. Thank you guys so much for handling my exit with love, honesty, and respect. Thank you again, Fox Soul, for the amazing opportunity. And I know that our paths will one day cross again. All right. Hashtag rich white woman. Claudia Jordan is here in a response, and she says, why ain't you tell nobody, Funky? Okay, here Claudia go putting all the goddamn churches business out there. Okay, why you ain't tell nobody, Funky? Had no idea this was even. Oh wow, I ain't know Claudia was gonna give it up like this. Had no idea this was even a thing. We should still now more than ever do some live show dates and appearances. We can control and book ourselves. The soulmates will line up for that. Oh shit. So Claudia Jordan is saying, girl, we can take this on the road, girl. just how Maddie does her show, etc., girl. And they can come together even outside of Fox Soul. Now that, you know, this group has been recognized as a thing, they can create their own thing amongst each other. Now, I don't know whether there's something in the contract when it comes to Fox Soul, because some companies got their shit down to the bone marrow, girl, that you can't even go and do something like that. But if Claudia Jordan is saying what she's saying, then I'm assuming that's not in the contract and that they are free to go and create something that might be argued is in the spirit of what was created out of TGIF. I don't know if Claudia herself created TGIF. She might have the creative rights to that, etc. But hell, Claudia, you know, she's like, girl, let's get to the bag. We can exist outside of Fox Soul, etc. And she's also expressing that she had no motherfucking idea. Okay. So that's interesting. Let's read some of these. Hold on. Well, let me scroll through and see if Al responded. He probably didn't since oh no, this Al. Al says, miss you already. Okay. Oh, so sad. Wow. So let's see some of the comments under Claudia's comment. Somebody says, yes, come to Chicago. Someone else said, we still going to Aruba because I've already started saving these coins. Someone else said, Claudia, you're always such a class act. I agree. I love all three of you. I'm so glad things transition on a positive note, but I'm going to miss y'all, bro, and my Krishan voice. All right. Funky says 100%. Therefore, okay, so Funky with it. All right. So this is good news as well, that those who love the trio together may still have an opportunity to experience these people as a trinity, as a group, and they may do some independent shows for fans, put on a live show, do some shit, have some fun, etc. That's amazing. How do y'all feel about Claudia not having any idea that there were these issues, even though Funky said in his commentary that everyone, including Al and Claudia, had an issue with the pay? He said we all did not understand. We all, you know, he spoke for them all. But Claudia is saying, bitch, you know, like, why you ain't tell nobody? I had no idea this was even a thing. So that's very interesting. Someone else says, Deborah still don't like her colorist comments in the past, but it's my hope that she has matured. Well, the thing about it is, has anybody heard the temporary current version of Claudia make colorist statements, you know? And if not, then it seems that that is behind her, and she understands that those jokes or comments were distasteful, etc. Because you guys know that we, which is not an excuse, but it's an explanation. You know, we lived in a society that was very relaxed around things that were in fact colorist, things that were in fact anti-black, things that were in fact homophobic, things that were in fact misogynistic, etc. And so a lot of the blackity black type jokes that were oftentimes amongst the people and used by comedians and were said in just, you know, they weren't ever even reflected on necessarily as a colorist per se. You know, this kind of like lucidity that we're all living in as a culture is very new to people, and a lot of society is now realizing in retrospect, you know, that a lot of the shit that was said in good humor, that was said in just, was actually toxic, etc. And if you were to turn the page back before social media existed, and we can see from so many celebrities who get canceled currently because of turning back the hands of time, you know, because, you know, things on Twitter from 14 years ago, things on Instagram from 14 years ago, things that people said, you know, 11 years ago, etc. You know, it's, I think that there does need to be some grace there. Because when you don't know better, you don't do better. And when you know better, then you do better. And so I think once people get held accountable, once they can, take responsibility for said things, etc., and then they go on to not repeat those things, I think, it's fair to leave it at that. Claudia on her ish did her and Karamo collab on a real level. Let me see. At times when you learn better, you do better. That part. I don't hold grudges unless those persons are still on their ball, period, and rightfully so. Foot on neck. TGIF been settled, but Funky need his own show. Funky kind of lied. Well, they paying Al and Claudia, but they wouldn't pay Funky because of that Chloe situation and his other comments. It's politics. I like, well, so speaking of that, let's get into Claudia. And let's see if her live stream is still up, actually. Let me see if her live stream. Yep, it's still up. Okay, so let's check out the live stream. Now, mind you, when it comes to Instagram lives from a laptop or a desktop, I don't control fast forward or backward. So we're going to listen to a little bit of this, not all of it. You guys can go and watch it for yourself over on Claudia's Instagram page. But she did also touch on, what's going on in more detail. So let's listen to this.
Hey guys, hello. I just thought I'd hop on here. First show back after the new year. Just came on and just chop it up with y'all a little bit. People joining the chat. Still got a cough. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Do I need my light? Let's see. I'm gonna start doing this more often. I need to do this on my YouTube channel because I'm starting to work on that. I meant to announce it today. I have a YouTube channel, Life with Claudia Jordan. So yeah, follow me on that as well. I'm gonna start doing some more behind the scenes stuff, some inside information stuff. Oh my god, my track is so loose. I gotta get my hair done. As far as the guest hosts, we're gonna be trying different people out, much like how the Breakfast Club did, and possibly the soulmates can have a say in it.
There you go. Okay. So Consciouztv's, y'all know I told Claudia in the last, I said, Claudia, put me on speakerphone, honey. The producers need to hear us. Okay, so that's fabulous. Claudia has confirmed that this is a direction that they're interested in going, rotating guests, etc., girl. So y'all get ready for some things, okay?
Who knows? Maybe Funky will try out for it again.
I can't.
You never know who might show up. Okay. People ask me about this. He made a video, so please go to his page. Are you gonna miss Funky? Fuck yeah. We had a great thing going, and we actually had a lot of ups and downs where sometimes we wouldn't get along, and then me and Al had our thing, and me and Funky, like we've all like had a thing at some point, right? So to get through all of that and get to a point where we're finally like laughing shit off, and it's like, of course, like, yeah. But like a lot of streaming companies, they got to make cuts. Why do you think we had all those shows on Fox Soul and we don't have them anymore? We had Cocktails of Queens. We had Tammy Macho, which was awesome.
I'm reading Nihar's comment who says CTV, but would Maddie have done it though? Though, what exactly, boo? Would she have done it though, considering she has history with Funky? Oh, would she have filled in? Yeah, because well, I mean, I don't know if she would have. That probably would largely depend on the situation. I think with Funky Dineva being articulate about the fact that for him it was a pay wage issue and him not being paid for his talent and his time and being asked to do it at a reduced rate, but for more days, which would still equal out to more pay than what he was getting, but that's by default because you're working more days, obviously. Maddie, since she is friends with Funky, you know, everybody friendship politics is very differently. Some people are going to stand behind their friend and say, you know, because of optic purposes and just out of luxury of friendship, like, nope, y'all ain't paying my bitch well, and I'm good on it, you know. And if y'all ain't treating her well, then, you know, her stand up for herself. I need to love myself enough to also stand up for my own worth, because this person, even if they are acting on behalf of themselves, is acting on a situation that does nonetheless still impact us all. So there's opportunity to help to change things by standing behind Funky, you know, if she believes that narrative. And, you know, she, as a friend, you know, may just want to stand in solidarity. But once again, people have different friendship politics. Some friends are like, girl, no, go get your bag, bitch. Okay? No, bitch, go get yours. You know, I don't fuck with them. I ain't gonna do it. But no, you go get yours. You know, so I don't know what her and Funky's dynamics are. I know that they're friends, but once again, all friendships are different. There are different friendship rules in each friendship. So what Maddie would do, I don't know. You know, that's yet to be understood. That's an interesting question, though.
And Dr. Sean, we had a lot of shows that are no longer there. So that should have been a hint to you guys that things were changing on the streaming site. A lot of shows did not make it. Cocktails of Queens wasn't canceled because the ratings were bad. The ratings were very similar to TGIF. It was a different kind of audience, but we had great ratings. But it was a very expensive show to produce. I mean,
hey, Voodoo Doll TV. Hey, Boo. Shout out to Voodoo Doll. Make sure you guys subscribe to Voodoo Doll, epic content creator. Hey, love. Hey, Boo. Voodoo Doll is another one who the girls were going up for, girls. CTV, Nosy, Storm, Alexander Rogers, Voodoo Doll, etc., girl. Okay, so with Claudia acknowledging that there's going to be a rotating structure to the show, this really gives all of us, it gives, you know, God, it gives everybody the opportunity, you know, to have their shot to add and to be added unto. And I think it's really dope. And I really do hope that TGIF not only simply rotates the table and the chairs, I hope that they do that specifically by choosing from the YouTube influencer bag where Funky came from. Okay? If Funky was as great of an asset as we all know that he is, and he brought as much as we all have acknowledged and given him credit for bringing to the table, then once again, as far as I'm concerned, he has kicked the fucking door down for YouTubers by showing network producers what the fuck we are working with and what the fuck we can be capable of. And it would be significant and important and impactful for Fox Soul to narrow down who they're going to be giving opportunity to YouTube, because they're also building their own brand and network on the YouTube platform. So this is perfect marketing. This is perfect strategizing by dealing with other influencers. Okay? You're going to have a shared audience. You're going to be pulling off of their audience. They're pulling off of yours, etc. It's a mutual trade-off. It's a benefit for all people. And it just makes, it's the only thing that makes sense. It's just on, if they go to celebrity route, no. Commentators, it's going to be everything. Okay? And I also hope that with Claudia saying this, that everybody is going to play fair, because it's no reason for any of us to be greedy, because the opportunity is going to be extended to whomever qualifies. So, you know, at this point, it's just about doing your big one. You know, if the door is going to be open, the door is going to be fucking open. And I know everybody from Voodoo Doll to Nosy Hole to Storm to everybody, etc. Girl, I know that we're going to show up and we're going to show out and we're going to do our fucking big one. Because this is the type of opportunity that influencers be preparing their whole online careers for, is those breakthrough opportunities. So I'm really excited with you guys. Even if I am someone who is provided the opportunity, I'm also excited to see Voodoo Doll do like all my niggas doing they big one. Like I'm excited to see everybody bring and put they motherfucking shit on, because motherfuckers gonna rock it, especially once again if they select well. And producers, if y'all watching, look, we already giving y'all so many epic key players in this thing. We doing all the work for them. We doing all the work for them. So you already got your lineup. You already got your qualifying contenders. So I mean, we done did all the work. We done did all the work for them, girl. We done dropped the dime. We done broke down the science of the shit. We done put up contestants, girl. We done put up, you know, who all should be up next. So, you know, just give up the ghost. It's just time to go. It's time to go.
Full disclosure, it was more expensive to produce because we had celebrity names on there, like big names. So of course we had to pay Vivica Fox and Selena Johnson and Lisa Ray and me, you know. So that show was a casualty. It wasn't because the quality was bad. Just like with TJF, the show was fucking popping, you know. It was doing.
And somebody else was also saying like I think they were responding to my commentary on T.S. Madison, which was a response to a question about if I think that Maddie would do the fill-in, despite Funky being her friend and him walking away for, you know, the same reasons that, you know, Monique was upset about, that Taraji is upset about. This is the thing too about the issue, unfortunately. Pay is relative. Clearly, Al and Claudia are relatively happy enough to remain employed, happy enough to continue on in their job, happy enough to, you know, exist where they are. Now, you know, Al does give, you know, he gonna be wherever any type of check is. Okay, so, but, you know, Claudia's, you know, being there, working her ass off and continuing to be committed to TGIF. You know, obviously the money she's making is relatively good to her. So one person, and this is why negotiations are private, because everybody has their own worth to be negotiated. Everybody has their own numbers to negotiate with and against. Everybody individually is not in the same place. So everybody's negotiating checks probably not going to look the same way, rightfully so. I mean, does Nene Leakes 11 seasons out want to be making the same as the girl who's just coming in for season 1? And is the girl coming in for season 1 to expect a Nene Leakes payout who's been here for 11 seasons? No. You're going to pay people according to. So we can't make the assumption that, you know, everybody just should have terminated the job or left the job, because once again, when it comes to money and income and it comes to your personal negotiations, those private contracts are going to be really tailor-made to the individuals. And the only way I could see them uniting is if what Funky said is true. If all of our pay wages were reduced as a result of going 5 days a week. If they all, as Funky said, were not happy with that, I feel like Claudia Al and Funky had negotiating equity and power because they literally are the founding mothers of the show. We know truly and obviously that they have more power than producers do in terms of their influence, because we know that producers are interested in one thing and one thing only, and that is making motherfucking money. And there's no way they would not have met the needs of their premier talents who were given an ultimatum, because without Al, Claudia, and Funky, there is no TGIF. And all the money and time that's been put into TGIF, producers would not have wanted to be met with the burden of finding a new ensemble cast, dealing with the fallout, dealing with these people taking their audiences with them. They would have been starting over scratch. So if they wanted to stand in solidarity because all of their shit was impacted, then that would have been an opportunity. But we also just learned from Claudia's comment under Funky Dineva's post about their tribute to him that she didn't even know this was a thing. So it's very unclear what is going on. And that's why I said the other day, there are three sides to a story. There is Funky side, there is whoever signs the check side, and then there's the fucking truth. People have just listened to Funky and then ran with what he said. But once again, that's only one side. We don't know all the sides yet. Now, she's getting into how expensive it was for Cocktails with Queens or with Divas to, you know, run, etc. So let's continue to listen to Claudia.
Amazing numbers. I think like 16, 17 million minutes viewed. Like, people are watching that show. You know, we go viral all the time. We had a great chemistry. That is very hard to duplicate. It's very hard to create. That's why creating or putting the right people together is a gift. It is a talent. It is a big deal. When you strike pay dirt, is that what they call it? Pay dirt? I never really used that phrase before. I just tried it. It's a big deal. You know what I mean? So when you find the magic in the show, people protect that. These shows that are successful, Cocktails of Queens and TGIF, it's not about the topics. Although, not to take away from the producers, they do a great job when they research things for us and do stuff. But it's every successful talk show, radio show, and talk show is based on great chemistry. That's it. And you cannot duplicate that. You can't create that. It has to just be. It just is or it is not. So, of course, I feel away. Of course, I'm like, of course we was somber. Of course we was sad. But, you know, at the end of the day, we have to power through, and we just have to have faith that things will work out the way they're supposed to. And soulmates that have been rocking with us, or me, especially since 2019.
But once again, Andre, is still going to come down to personal negotiations, because not all employees are equal. You have people there with various degrees, various levels of experiences, various skill sets. All of that is going to rightfully so determine people's pay. If you had to train this person, not train this person. If this person is coming in with 15 years of experience versus coming off the damn side of the curb, you know, so I don't think there's any real way around the negotiations ultimately coming down to private negotiations. And I'm sorry, if I have a certain skill set that I have carved out, and I have my logistics and my academia in order, and I have my certificates and my degrees and no, what's not fair is you paying another bitch who ain't got none of that equal to me. What that doesn't do is benefit me. And then to give that other person the same pay wage is a slap in the face to everything that I thought I had to do to earn what it is that I'm negotiating. So really, you destroy the entire goddamn system altogether. I believe in paying people fairly, but there's no such thing as a collective equality in this particular context.
First started when out loud. I appreciate y'all for being on this journey. You know what I mean? And you know, rocking through ups and downs. There's been a lot of ups and downs over the past 5 years. You know? And I just have to have complete faith, and what is meant to be will be. And that's that. But, you know, don't jump ship because of what you're seeing right now. You know, like me and Al didn't put in work.
Now, would Claudia's pay have been higher? Possibly. I can see why that would be. Funky Dineva has his own terms to negotiate his pay respectfully, but also looking at Claudia, who was juggling TGIF and juggling Queens of Cocktails with the Queens, etc. The network also knew they get, like, obviously, y'all can't be working this woman down to the bone like this and not make it worth it for her, because we already discussed the science of Claudia's role. She is a foundational piece. Claudia is, what she does is come in, she creates the foundation so that then things can be built upon. You know, she's a road opener, and that's what makes her valuable as well. And so I don't know what the contrast was between her and Funky's pay wage is. I don't know how equal it was. Funky said they all took a pay cut. But once again, Claudia said she don't even know that this is a thing. So I don't know what that means. You know, it seemed like they all on different pages, you know, because her comment under Funky's video, you know, under his comment implies something else. So I don't know.
He put in work, and we love, like, man, he put a beautiful post on his page to show that it's still all love, and he appreciated how we addressed his exit. And of course, we're gonna give him that respect. Why would we not? We got no beef. There's no beef between us. And there's no beef between Fox Soul and Funky. I have to say that. Like, you know, he's gonna, you know, he speaks his mind. We all speak our mind. So it's all love. And I think it's important when a show has any kind of changes to pay that person their respect. I've been on shows where when I left, they took all my shit down, and it was like they erased my memory. And like, damn, did I ever matter? And we will never do that. And no one's gonna ever deny Funky Dineva's impact and importance on the show. We're a thing, y'all, in pop culture, you know. And the good thing is, y'all have hundreds of thousands. Cat, I'm speaking. Y'all have thousands of minutes. You can always go back and watch those memories. You know what I mean? And soulmates, y'all built this up. Like, y'all are responsible for the success. And what shows? There's a lot of shows on television that cannot say that they had 4 good, strong seasons. Every single year of TGIF was good. Was it not? Every single year of that show, every season was popping. You know, shows be falling off like after the first season or the first album is popping, and the second album, every single, and that's something to be proud of. And that is from Funky Dineva, Al Reynolds, and myself. We did that, and we should be damn proud of that, and we are. Let me see what y'all talking about. I really can't say much. Listen, of course we want him. All right? No, TGIF is not canceled. We're still here. We're on tonight. You're lagging yourself. Tisha, that's not true. It's not true. All right. So anyways, we're back on. No, it's not gonna cancel. We're back on. And you know, we're gonna just power through. We'll figure it out. It'll be figured out. It'll work out. Have faith, things will work out the way they're supposed to work out. Okay? The good thing about this situation is there's no animosity. It's none of that. It's love. So as long as there's love involved, you never know. All right, so moving on. Again, there was a lot of people in the chat.
I'm going to be honest, and this might sound a little naive. This might sound a little bit too idealistic, but obviously I haven't even turned on the monetization for my own channel. I've never been somebody who does anything solely for money. Money has always been a byproduct of me just doing things that I love. Obviously, when it comes to business, I am intelligent enough to negotiate what I believe ultimately is fair. But if I were in this position, like, there are certain things that I would do simply because of what it means to the culture. Because ultimately, like, that's what I came to be a part of. I would not do that if I was deeply unhappy with what I was getting paid. But considering I don't know, like, and I don't even know whether to call it a struggle, because it might not be a struggle, but like, I'm also very, as much as my masculinity is connected to my head and my logic and the reasoning part of my brain, my thinking is also informed by my heart. So my pendulum always swings from left to right. And there are just things that me, and it's no condemnation on nobody else. There are things that CTV would do for the greater good, for the like, just for the representation of it all. And I think you can do both as well. I think you can fight for what's important, and I think that you can also advocate and live from your heart and live from what you ultimately believe. And I also know that there are going to come times in our life, and we all will know those times, where some things need to be completely left brain, and then some things are just completely heart-centered. I don't know if I would have walked away yet. 6 figures, even though, yeah, I can make this money in one video on my own terms. But I think it was also, I think it's also clear to us that Fox Soul is growing significantly, aka the studio shows. I think there's a lot of room, to just, I don't know. For me, I probably could have, I probably would have just fought and stayed the course at the same time. I would have been in the background, running them hoes crazy about this money, honey, and you know, we would have stayed in negotiations, you know, and renegotiations, and we would have been, you know, moving the chess pieces around. I would have been, you know, flipping and flexing. We would have been, you know, just coming together, collaborating on what could, you know, just on the things of the things. But I also like making people happy. And if I would have created something that means a lot to 7,000 live viewers, not even talking about the replay views, but just the amount of people that are showing up for us to see us right now, right here. That level of dedication, that level of like interest, that level of value on what we do, and bringing that to the homes of the Black and brown community, I'm not gonna lie, that would have informed me too. I would have been informed by that. I like that would have played a role. But I'm not going to act like I am a for the bag type of bitch. I'm not going to act like I am that obsessed about money, because I'm not. I'm not that obsessed about money. I can live in a hut. I can live in a mansion. You know, I can wear off-brand clothes. I can walk out of the Louis Vuitton store. The way my upbringing was, it was a perfect mixture of both lifestyles. You know, very humble beginnings and saw great escalation, you know, as we got older, you know, as life went on. And so, I don't know, this is just interesting to me, you know, but I respect Funky's decision. You know, people got to do what's best for them, and you still get Funky. So, you know, but obviously, you know, Al and Claudia made different decisions for the reasons that they made their decisions for. And maybe it's because they're heart-centered too. Well, we know that Al ass is completely pressed about the bad girl. He ain't going nowhere. 17 or 20, bitch. He good. Okay, because he trying to amass his millions again. But, you know, Claudia got her own reasons. So, you know. Yeah, now.
And I appreciate y'all for, you know, in all your commentary. You should express your opinions. You have rode with us. You have every right to feel away and express yourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, talk. We talk. We talk. And we should. Like, that's part of our show. We kept it a buck. That's why our show was very different than a lot of shows. There was nothing politically correct about there. Let me say that was. There is nothing politically correct about our show. All right.
All right, Andrea. No, they ain't gonna pay. They gonna offer me less because that's just what corporations do. But they're definitely gonna pay me for my worth. For my worth, you know, and I'm clear, relatively speaking, what that would look like between the two. So never less. But you know, they're gonna pay me accordingly for shizzle, my nizzle. Yes, God, absolutely, Andre.
Okay. All right.
Oh, that's not true, Michelle Bolden. That's not true, girl. This woman is hosting. She does interviews on Fox, so she is a showrunner. She is a show. She actually recruits the talent. As once again, she the one who brought Funky and Al to the table as the queens as well. She's in the creative seat too. You know, she juggles multiple positions, and some of them are not, you know, what you see publicly. So I disagree with that.
What's up, Consciouztv?
Hey, Claudia. Okay, I just wanted y'all to hear that part, to be honest. Okay. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna let y'all come up and let y'all give y'all thoughts on the thizzle. What y'all think about the things. Okay. Here's the link. Hit the link if you got something to say. Period. CTV, if Claudia see you, you good. Yeah, Claudia is dope, man. And Claudia reminds me of a lot of myself. She is really big on friendships and relationships, and she also leads from her heart, which is why I said what I said. I think Claudia, I don't know how happy she is or isn't with her pay, you know, but what I do know is that Claudia really loves really hard, and a lot of her decisions are also informed from the heart too. Alan Claudia Need Foxhole that even got its own successful channel. I don't know about Need. I know Al needs it. I know Al needs it for sure. The thing about Claudia is gonna keep a job. Period. And she ain't going nowhere. She gonna be there. Hey Jonathan.
Hey Conscious. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What are your thoughts about the going on?
So here's the thing. I'm as many of the Funky Bunch are devastated that, you know, our Dineva will not be on that show no more. Yeah. But truth, you know, quiet as it's kept, the only reason any of us was watching, if we are true Funky Bunch members, was for him. And that's no shade to Al or Claudia, because I have grown to love them through the progression of the 4 years of this show. You know, YouTube is one of those things where there's a lot of content that gets pumped out all the time. So there would be, you know, times where I would have to binge watch like 5 or 6 episodes because I would get behind or whatever. But it kept me going through my day because the shows were always good. The topics were always interesting. Everybody had their moments, etc., etc. What I find, okay, let me make sure I get my thoughts together on this one. Because here's what's bothering me. Because of course, you know, everybody, the first thing that came out of a lot of people's mouth is like, oh, he got fired. Oh, they fired him. Oh, he didn't want to commit. He didn't want to keep doing. You know how he is about routine. He don't want to be on routine. Let's be very clear. If he didn't think he could walk away from that check and still maintain the lifestyle that he's already living, he would have took what they offered him. We all know this. Like Funky been broke. Funky been like before. He just like Al, he ain't never gonna go back to being broke, but he's also at a place where he has already amassed enough income and multiple streams of income where he can pick and choose what he wants to do. And like he said in his video, he wasn't even really, according to his words, he wasn't asking for that big of a rate raise. What he said he wanted was the rate he was getting when they were only 2 days a week. And that's the part I feel like everybody is missing when it comes to this. Like, they were technically making more per episode when they were only doing 2 days versus what they are making now per episode as 5 days. And yeah, I feel some type of way about that too, especially after my contract is up. And really all I'm asking for you is to take me back up to where you started me at. I don't know why. I don't even think that that's really that much to ask for. I get numbers wise, yeah, you were technically making more money per week than you were previously. But it's like, at the end of the day, though, I'm doing more work for less money. I shouldn't have to take a pay cut in order to, work harder.
And to make more money. Like, I should have to take a pay cut to make more money.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, any type of, quote unquote promotion is supposed to equal a higher pay rate.
But do you think that there's a discrepancy between his side? Because Claudia's statement kind of suggests, the comment she left under his post, that there seems to be a lack of clarity on.
So, here's the thing. I believe her when she says that, like, he didn't discuss this with either of them, because yes, they're all close and stuff like that, but it's just like, you don't necessarily be at your work discussing pay with your coworkers like that.
But then again, remember, he said though that we all were upset. We all felt the way, so there clearly was.
No, and that's true. And that's true. I mean, probably in the beginning when they signed those new contracts, they all probably did take some sort of a pay cut. And again, like I've been saying this whole time, we'll see what happens in 6 months when Claudia and Al's contracts come back up for renewal, and they might want to be back up at a similar rate than what they were getting before also. Except for, we all know that Al not going nowhere. Al's probably the only one that probably ain't gonna go nowhere. He just gonna take what they gonna give him, and do his little thing because that's what he want to do. Al just moved his ass to LA, which is, second to highest cost of living compared to Miami. He can't afford to not have that not have that money coming in every single week.
Part. Yeah, because if they would have had to do some type of a union and some type of a goddamn like protest and boycott, honey, they would have been on their own. Because Al Reynolds was not about to compromise his light bill money.
No, he was not. No, he was not, because he been there. He been broke before. He said, and once he got this gig, he said he was never going back.
That part.
He said, he said he back on the red carpets. He's back interviewing the celebrities. He's back living the high life, getting flowed out, champagne in the club, private dances, all that kind of. He not going back to having to teach full time. Please.
Yeah.
When it comes to some of the comments, like,
but what's so funny about that statement though, Jonathan, is that it's because it's interesting to me though, because Al being so desperate also could argue that there is something going on, because Al was recently in a show, I think last week, saying that he's excited to go back into teaching and he really wants to get his foot fully back into teaching. And I'm like, well, I mean, I understand, some people still want to be.
Al likes to be, but Al likes that whole role of a mentor. He likes to teach. I'm not saying he doesn't like teaching. What I'm saying is that if that was going to be his only form of income, unless he was going to get hired at some very, very high paying, prestigious university, I don't think he would want to be doing that just as his regular everyday thing. But Al loves the accolades and loves, his persona that he is a well-educated Black man that, wants to mentor young people and all those kind of things. Like I really honestly feel like his goal in life is to attain enough wealth to where he can really be philanthropic.
But you guys do remember he's a financial banker.
Well, he was, as Funky said, he was.
I mean, but once a financial banker, I mean, if as long as all you have to do is keep your licenses and your licensure current, make sure you do your, continuing education or whatever. But that is a lucrative career.
Oh,
that's true. Very true.
My question would be, I wonder why he hasn't been in banking as up until even this gig, since all he need to go do is find him a banking job. Like, I wonder why that has not because of your point, Andrew. It would make sense, right? Because I think he even said tonight, or he said then when Funky was gagging him, that like he already had his millions before his marriage to Sarah Jones, and that he spoke at his money from banking. So it's just like, well, why would you be in teaching but be in banking? But you have obsession.
What he's still doing though, what he still does. I'll say this part, be quiet. But what he still does that he doesn't quite puts enough emphasis on, which is actually his consulting. He still does business consulting, which Some of some of it includes image, crisis management, PR, but it also is on the the hedge fund, hedge fund planning side of it as well. That's, in my opinion, that's his moneymaker. That's the thing that he does. He talks about it every now and then. You'll hear him talk about the various projects. When I worked at such and such, when I worked at so and so, when he does those things, he's not an actual W-2 employee. He's actually a 1099 employee. He's a contractor that he's built out a niche for himself in that lane where he has a lot of other things going on that he's just kind of quiet about. He talks about the teaching. I think you're right. I think he does the teaching as a passion. My husband teaches. I finally got him. He was doing everything, y'all. I finally got him to quit the teaching.
Can I say? Can I say something really quickly? I believe that you mentioned his passion and stuff like that. I believe that all of their passion is TGIF, all of them. I believe that is what they truly want to do. And if they had the choice, they would do that full time, period. You know what I mean? They would be in broadcasting, they would be in media full time. Like that's where their true passion lies. Okay. They do these other things because, they still need to make more money and stuff like that. But where their true passion lies is TGIF. Look at how hard they worked to cultivate the audience they have. Look at how hard they worked to get it to the point where they were at 5 days a week, right? So you think they're going to do that if that's not a passion for them? If that's what they want to do. That's what they all want to do. You know what I mean?
Other things provided them the opportunity to do that, and I think they did want to ride it out. I think they wanted to see where it could go, and I think that's why they all. I think Funky even said that in his video. I think that's why they all agreed to take the pay cut to allow them to get where they needed to be, because Fox Soul, truth be told, they were in some financial straits last year.
There's no amount of financial straits that a multi-billion-dollar company is going to be in that would, excuse them not paying these people what they are supposed to be paid. So, I mean, I'm not even trying to entertain that argument at all. You know what I mean? Period. Okay. And I think that it's extremely brave of Funky Dineva to do what he did and say, hey, look, I'm going to step away from this because you guys are not paying me what you're supposed to be paying me. Look, they were paying him. He said it. He said, look, and I don't know the exact amount, but I mean, we can kind of try to gauge what it was, right? So, hey, they were paying us, he said, what, $20, right? Paying us $20 per show. And then, okay, so now, you guys are going to be working 5 days a week. Now we're going to pay you $17 per show, right?
Right.
So the notion that, that a multi-billion-dollar company is in, dire straits to the point where they can't afford to, but this is absurd, ridiculous. They're going to lowball talent. And this is something that has happened just in general for decades in the entertainment industry. Okay. And especially people of color, they're going to lowball you, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And this is the thing. This is my analysis of what's happening. Right. I believe that Funky Dineva did not want to leave, but I believe that he played hardball and said, I'm going to leave. And I believe that he is going to see what happens. He doesn't want to leave. And you know why I think that my theory is accurate? Because I went on his what do you call the Instagram a few minutes ago, and I saw that there was someone who responded to his post and alluded to, hey, if you had the opportunity to come back, would you, do it? And he said yes. So he is playing hardball. That's what's happening right now. He's playing hardball, and he knows that there's really no one else that could fill his shoes. Okay. Now, look, here's the thing. Do I think that Consciouztv?
I have a question. Hold on. So I have a question.
Yeah.
That being said now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So Does that line of thinking also shortchange TGIF? Because
No.
as long as they fall into the attitude that any one of these players are the only potential that the network has, when
No.
we know that
No, because they
there
all work together as a team. Not
but I'm saying like,
them
but not
alone
even.
to carry that
But I'm
ball.
saying like even outside of the team, like if is it safe from the network's perspective to also look at any one of the talents as the end all, be end all? Like is that because
No.
does that also
Listen. Right. Here's the thing. Right. That's not what's happening at all. Right.
No, he's
He,
not
like I said,
doing
he's played. He's officially playing hardball now. He does not want to quit the show. Okay, but what he's doing is he's striking while the iron is hot. People are talking about Taraji P. Henson and the things that she said, and other actresses, Gabrielle Union, made the skit and stuff like that. So he's striking while the iron is hot right now. Listen, is it outside the realm of possibility that we couldn't have someone else who's savvy, intelligent, like yourself, Conscious? I mean, let's just be honest. You could absolutely fill those shoes, right? So there's always going to be somebody else that can do it. Okay. But what he's doing right now is he's striking while the iron is hot, while the atmosphere and the climate is ripe for this sort of discourse. Okay. And this is what he's doing. He doesn't want to leave. And I believe truly that he's gambling, and he is, look what happened when everyone was on vacation, right? He was on vacation. Claudia was on vacation. Look at the people who were there. The general consensus was that no one was happy with anyone that was filling in. You think he didn't remember that or realize that? You understand what I'm saying? So he's gambling. He's, shooting his dice up against the wall. He's taking the chance, and we're going to see if the network plays ball. I think that they overplayed their hand. They should have paid them whatever the hell they were asking for, which was probably not that much. Let's keep it a stack.
He said it wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay. They tried to play hardball. They're gonna be the ones losing in the long run. Okay, because unless they get someone as dynamic as Conscious, somebody of that caliber, that level of intelligence, it's not going to freaking work. It's just not going to work. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens.
I want to clarify what I said about
Yeah.
the corporation, right? About the money.
Yeah.
Fox itself, you're right. It's $1 billion corporation, but from an accounting perspective, that's me. I'm the accountant. I'm the literal thinker, right? But from the accounting perspective, yes, the parent company Fox is $1 billion business, right? It has unlimited funds. The subsidiary Fox Soul does not. It has to stand, make its own profits, right? It has to meet its own goals, and it has to make its own profits. And if and when it doesn't, because they're only going to allot at budgeting time, they're going to budget X amount of dollars for Fox Soul. It has to sustain itself. It's not like there's an unlimited amount of funds that are available from parent Fox, right? So that's what I'm saying. Fox Soul.
But you know what?
Soul
Yeah, I don't think that anyone. I don't think that anyone thinks that there's an unlimited amount of funds as it relates to anything at all. Period. In media, right?
No, but I was just trying to explain what I meant about I said about the
but even that subsidiary as an entity, right? Are we going to really think that there's not a couple of $1,000 extra that they can afford? You know what I mean? Look, here's the thing, right?
The way those financial statements
and
look,
this is what's happening. This is what's happening across the board in entertainment. Remember the strike. There was a huge
That's going
strike.
on. You're
Just
right.
in general, this is what's
That's
happening.
happening.
There is a culture of lowballing and jerking and
It's the truth.
using talent across the board. Paramount, all these major, you know, companies, they're going to try to lowball actors. They're going to try to jerk you if they can. We live in a capitalistic society, and I don't want to venture off too much to the side,
I agree with
but
100% with
we all
everything you're saying.
understand that we're living in a capitalistic society, and a capitalistic society can't function paying people what they're worth. We know that. Okay.
I
So,
agree 100% with what you're saying. All I'm saying is all of what you're saying is true,
yeah,
and I believe they were trying to lowball them. I
yeah,
believe that they underplay black people in corporate
mhm,
America, in
yeah,
entertainment, and all of that. I believe all that, and
yeah,
they are bleeding. They are bleeding money. The
mhm,
CEO that
Say
started them
something.
left in
Oh,
June
mhm,
2023 to start his
mhm,
own black streaming company.
mhm,
And one of
can
the
I?
things they are bleeding money. That if you listen to what she says about cocktails and queens, go back,
yeah,
because one of the
mhm,
things that she said was about the salaries that those type women demand. They demand a
mhm.
very high salary. They cut that show because they couldn't afford to pay those high salaries, and those women, as with Funky, were not willing
But
to
here's the
not
thing.
take
This
what
is,
they
you know what?
deserve.
I'm with you until you use the word afford. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
when
I'm not.
I'm an
I
accountant.
just
I'm an
can't
accountant. That's
wrap my
I
head
just use it
around
like that.
the idea that that company, even as a subsidiary, can afford to pay people what they're supposed to be paying them, right?
Their financial statements say they are
Mm,
bleeding money. I'm going
so I
because I'm
mean,
coming from purely the accounting
we have
perspective.
access to these financial statements? I mean,
Yes,
do we have
yes,
access
they're
to
public
these
Right.
company.
right
They're a
now
public
here to
That
show
company.
part.
everyone you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
they're a public company.
Hmm.
They're a public
hmm
company.
Can I
Okay,
say
okay,
like I
something
said,
really
this
quickly, you
was in some of
guys?
Yeah, hold
this
on,
was a
mm,
y'all.
lot of the financial
Hold on,
trade.
y'all, because we
This
got
was
to get some other people up in here.
yeah,
Hold on for a minute. A voodoo
okay,
doll, welcome to the platform, love.
Hey, Conscious TV. Hey,
Hi.
my hey, chat. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for
Hey.
having me. I just want to come up here and say this.
Yeah.
Funky did the absolutely right thing.
Mhm.
What he's doing is because I feel like a lot of these major companies like the downplay content creators and oh, just give them this and just give them that, da 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 da. When there's a reason they chose a content creator to be the third host.
Mhm.
To me, this is my opinion. Voodoo doll. I mean, not voodoo doll. Look at me. I'm feeling myself.
Hold on for a minute. It's some feedback coming from C. Don's. Okay, go ahead.
What I believe is what Funky did is what a lot of the actors and actresses should have done. The same thing Taraji P complaining about. The same thing Monique complained about. Know your worth and stand on it. He knows that they asked him to be a part of that for a reason. Funky Dineva is one of the top black content creators on YouTube. We all know that to be fact. They asked him to come over there for a reason. So he has every right to say, you know what, if you're not going to pay me this amount of money, I'm going to move around. And even if they get another content creator, we as black people have to understand, look, don't let them lowball you. You know what I mean? Just for, oh, well, I just want to take this place and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You have to ask yourself, what's more important, the fame or the money? If what's his name? If Funky can make the same amount of money on 1.5 videos, to me, my logical mind says walk away. And I'm with the last caller. I can't see her name, but like she said, I don't believe a $1 billion company is unable to pay these people what they worth. And I feel like as content creators, especially black content creators, we always get lowball because we just assume, well, let's just take this. No, 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 no. Let Funky do what he doing. And I feel like Funky is standing on business and he should. He should stand on business. Look, y'all called me. I didn't call you. You called me because you knew that you needed a celebrity, which is Claudia. You needed another pseudo celebrity and no shade, which is L, but you also needed a content creator because content creators and vloggers are the future. So you call me for a reason. Don't lowball me. So I feel like Funky did the right thing, and I feel like other content creators need to stand on business. Look, if you call another content creator and say, "Hey, I want to pay you this," now if you're a smaller content creator, which I don't believe they'll call like me, they're not gonna call somebody like me, which I wouldn't accept it anyway, because I don't want to be under nobody's contract where I can't say what I want to say. But what I'm saying is, if they call another content creator and lowball them, it kind of feeds into what we're into right now, where we're not getting paid what we're worth. We're not being put up on a pedestal that we should be on. Because listen, if they didn't feel no value within content creators, they wouldn't call Funky. Funky don't need them. They need Funky. So I feel
Yeah.
like Funky doing the right thing, and that's just me. And I don't know what the budget say. I don't know what they telling the people the budget say. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I know Fox as a corporation has money to pay whatever they need to pay. They paid Joe Rogan, didn't they? I'm just saying.
Okay, so
I feel like Funky doing the right thing.
So I got a question for you, because you just touched on something I was gonna walk right into, and something that I was gonna ask you about. Because, well, first of all, I agree with what you said about Funky. Now, since it's possible that they're going to be outsourcing for talent in the YouTube space, and they're open possibly to giving opportunity to other influencers off of the basis of them being talented, etc., who may be smaller relative to their platform, this is going to bring up an interesting question of monetary value. And so what should start happening now for those creators who are interested in being platformed by Fox, so who may be a smaller content, is that this would be the time now, even if Fox Soul opportunity comes and goes. I think, hold on, let me drop the link again for Voodoo Doll. Even if the opportunity with Fox Soul comes and goes, God knows how many more opportunities are just going to come down the pipeline. We all need to start thinking about our economics.
That's true.
Even the smaller content creators, because we don't know what situation we're going to find. We may find ourselves in a situation like the one that's possibly coming out of Fox Soul, where with a network, we're coming in with a smaller viewership, a smaller social equity, possibly. What does that need to look like on an economic, on a pay wage level, etc.? Voodoo Doll also touched on the popularity thing, and this is where I feel like a lot of content creators may reason with themselves at is, okay, they're going to have to pay me according to my worth relative to my other co-hosts for obvious reasons. But if you are a smaller content creator, Voodoo Doll, would you say that it would be worth it to get paid I ain't gonna say get paid less. I'm just gonna say get paid accordingly. Get paid accordingly. Is considering the clout and the popularity from being a part of a bigger machine. This would be equivalent to like a independent artist being able to be signed with a label instead of being independent.
Right.
And obviously, the bigger benefit to being a part of an actual corporate machine is the visibility aspect, the marketing aspect is going to be there, which then in the long run can turn into monetary opportunities from talent.
That and the capital to do so.
Yeah, it'll provide the capital. So what do y'all think about all of that?
Let me say this. Funky get more views on his channel than Fox Soul.
Yep.
So
he did prove that with that little screenshot today.
He don't have to prove it. All you gotta do is go on Funky channel and scroll down his videos.
Oh no!
Even the random videos, even the one he just did recently where he laid up in the bed on his phone, Funky get more views than Fox Soul. So this is what I'm saying. Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. If I'm in a position like a Funky Dineva and the math ain't mathing, the clout don't matter, because clout, I get in certain rooms, which Funky already get in them rooms because he been in the reality TV room for how long? So he already getting in these rooms. There's not the juice.
He told us a long time ago about how they were not paying him anything to do those reality things, and how he had to learn to tell them no. And I'm not just gonna sit here and you gonna give me this little funky $100 here and do your shit for you. No, you have to pay me for what I'm worth. I've learned from watching him and Madison for a very long time that they don't do anything now when the coin is not correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
commend them. I commend them for that because
Yeah.
I remember when you said Madison, it made me think about
Hold on, y'all.
her.
Hold on, y'all, for a
I'm
minute.
sorry.
Before y'all get too far off into that, I want us for a minute though to take Funky out of it and now look at this opportunity though from a smaller content creator's perspective. Like,
But I
what do
feel like
y'all
that's
think
true even
about?
for a smaller one.
and conscious,
That's what
this
I was
is
about to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who did I interrupt? I'm sorry.
go ahead,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
just saying.
Oh no,
I was saying.
I thought I interrupted someone. I'm sorry. Oh, I was just saying. I just remember when she mentioned Maddie. I thought about Craig,
Mm-hmm.
Craig the writer Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smaller creator as well. He had developed this show with I think Derek J that
Yep.
they were pitching to various networks. Back on
They
what
were
I was
doing
saying
reviews.
about the viability of Fox. He was talking to one night. I'm on his Patreon. He was talking one night about this with Funky Dineva, and he told him there, friend, I don't know how long my soul gonna be around. He said, I'm just being honest. I don't know how long they're gonna be around because, that's all. That's the only reason I'm saying what I'm saying. I commend him for what he's doing. Know your worth. Stand up for your worth. Right. Ask for what you want. Don't let nobody talk you down. Be willing to walk away. Everyone should get to the point where they're willing to walk away because they know their worth and they know they can get it somewhere else. And
Can I just say something really quickly? I think that we're really underestimating new media, right?
That
You know,
part. Thank you,
YouTube.
C Dawn. Thank you.
Yeah, YouTube. This is the wave. This is the new. This is
that's
it.
why
This
they
is it. We're
overstepped their
not
bounds
going
with
back.
him.
We're not going back to CNN,
Yep.
MSNBC, Channel 7, Channel 2. We're not going back. That is not that ship has sailed. This is where it's at right now. This is what people trust. People don't trust the old way of media and stuff like that. They don't trust it. They just don't trust it. Okay. And, I'm not trying to say that the older generation, 35, 45, 50 and up, I'm not saying that they don't mean anything, but I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves. Okay. This is where it's at right now. New media is where it's at. And people who have gotten in on the ground floor, companies like Fox that have gotten it on the ground floor, they know this. They didn't come to new media like just because, for out of the kindness and goodness of their heart. They came because they know what's going on and they know
They
that
needed
this is
new
the
media.
future and they need new media. I'm sorry, they need new media. You're
Instead of funky
100% right.
yeah, instead of funky and them getting clout from them,
Ex- ex-
they grew their
That part.
audience from him.
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
that's
And
what
and
I'm
and
saying.
what we need to do,
He
I'm
started
so
Flaming
sorry.
Network.
I'm just gonna say one more quick thing. We need to collectively, all of us, you know, need to stand by people like Funky Dineva and those
Yes.
who are being brave and bold and putting a section a portion of their livelihood on the line and doing this. We need to stand up for them, and we can't make excuses for multi-billion-dollar companies and subsidiaries of multi-billion-dollar companies. We cannot do that. We can't do that. We have to stand 10 toes down and stand up for people who are willing to stand up to these companies. We have to do that.
I
You know
think
what I'm
people
saying?
like
Either
Conscious,
And I
right?
agree.
I'm with you. I think people like Conscious, instead of, yes, this would be a great opportunity for anybody to, to get the notoriety or whatever.
Listen, I would love to
However,
see
I would like
Conscious
them to
on that
partner with,
show. I
yes,
would love it. Oh my God, I would love it so bad. I listen to
What's just
me.
the issue? Because I
Oh
want to add
my
this
God.
because
but
we're
I
having a
would
real
like to see him
conversation. If
cultivate
we
his
Conscious, I got
own.
some
if we having a real
theories that I want to
conversation,
expound to you about.
I'm okay. I want to add this part in here though.
Mm-hmm.
It, this is the issue. Like the entire system is fucked up.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
There's like a lot that happens here, right? So you got content creators on YouTube like me and Voodoo Doll and everybody else
Yeah.
We all know firsthand also how YouTube itself also sabotages its own content creators.
You better talk about
ever
it.
since Apocalypse.
Especially smaller content creators who are largely impacted by
Yep.
every fucking change that
Yes.
Google makes to all of their platforms. We are impacted the worst and first and foremost by those changes. And then you have situations like this, right? Where you have a content creator who is given a side to their situation with a network that we don't know the entire details of truly inside and out. And then there's a conversation, rightfully so, about Black and brown people needing to stand in solidarity, just like when Monique cried aloud from the land about mistreatment and being underpaid, like Taraji did, etc. And now Funky is following suit, etc. But then, like, okay, you have that, and it's compounded by all of the things that just got stated, and you got people like at the bottom working their fucking ass off to get what they need, and then people at the top are on their way to the top, or maybe already at the top, are having issues at the top. And then the problem a lot of times with those people at the top is like, so here's another question. If Funky has made it, if to some degree, and we are championing him and we are honoring him as such, that he's crossed a certain threshold, even if it's not the entirety of all potential there is, but he's crossed a certain threshold, what exactly does still happen to the rest of us? Because Funky came and got his, and he did what he needed to do for Fox,
Yeah.
for himself, etc. And like he said in his video, I'm at a place where I have options, because he did all the things needed to be done in order to put himself in a position to have the luxury and the privilege of being able to have options. Do me and Voodoo Doll, who get sabotaged by the platforms we are already on, benefit from standing in solidarity with other people who already have made it?
Absolutely.
No, of course you do. You absolutely do. No,
Yes.
no. Listen, let's be clear. Let's be clear. The more people that stand behind this type of activity, the better. You know, somebody's not going to be strong alone. If you are vocal, and the young lady here, Voodoo, if she's vocal and everyone is vocal, you are way more stronger together than you will ever be apart. I mean, no. That's something that you definitely, please. Okay. Here's the thing.
We are
You
looking
need to understand that these people are operating from a standpoint of them trying to get the most out of what they can get from you, and
Or
give.
the least.
If they could have you volunteering, if they could have you working for free, they would have you working for free. And I
Like
think
Mona
that
had
we
told
just
you
need
back
to
in the day.
really understand that these people do not give. I don't want to curse. Okay, are we cursing today?
Two
You know, look.
poops. They don't
Hey,
give two poops about
they don't
anybody.
give two
They don't.
poops.
They don't
They
give a
do not.
darn.
You understand what I'm saying? If they could look at again, and I will go
this
back
is
to the fact that we are living in a capitalistic society. Why does the
and
minimum wage exist?
that's exactly why that's exactly why it's oftentimes ineffective. Like, yeah, when we replay the history books back, it looks good, but in the actuality, it remains the very same thing, because you don't have enough of us that are able to stand long enough in solidarity to.
But we do,
But this is
Conscious.
why. This is why.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
Go
hold on,
ahead.
hold on,
Go
hold on.
ahead.
And a prime example of that is, why should the network care when you have the Reynolds of you have So because that also communicates to these powers that be that yes, of course, there are going to be people who are going to draw their line, get to their bottom line, and they're going to walk out the door on principle. Fine.
Yeah.
But we also know that that's a rarity, and that ultimately there are going to be pick Mishas and tap dancers and pappies who can be picked from the hood.
But we're in a unique situation right now in this moment with Funky Dineva. Okay, you know, I think that we all like Al Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of who we understand was probably I'm not going to say he was carrying the show, but he was. You know what I'm saying? We understand that we're in a unique position because he was probably the most dynamic of the trio. Okay, so it doesn't matter if Al is willing to settle for fewer coins or whatever. The main character of the show said, "No, I'm leaving. I'm walking out." You understand what I'm saying? And that's where we are.
I wish I could really. I
wish you could cultivate your
Conscious.
own.
Conscious,
I wish you could cultivate your own.
I know you know something you're not.
Say it. Say it, Conscious. Say it.
All calls you got last night was something's up. Okay.
Well,
so let me tell you, I'll pay attention to everything.
But y'all wait a minute. Hold on. If you can contribute to theirs, you can contribute to your own. I'm looking at you. If Maddie and Kaya could have worked, right? Let's think
talk
about
on it.
Let's think about a working relationship rather than that one that imploded, right?
Yeah.
They were on the cusp of greatness and stardom with something they created in Maddie's basement, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that's not lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
That can be recreated.
And
that could be recreated, and you can own that yourself. And all I'm saying about that is,
I agree.
Instead of, because we see what can happen in this instance, right? We see what can happen. If it happened once, it's going to happen. You're right. A capitalist society, it is dog eat dog. You know, everybody's out for itself. It's a scavenger type world. However, when you harness your own destiny in your own hands, you have something. And I'm telling you, the right people with that opportunity that Maddie and them had, they could well surpass that. Conscious, you can do that.
Yeah.
You have the brains to do that.
He absolutely could. He absolutely could.
You can read people. You know the types of people that you work well with. You know the types of people who are risk takers, and you laid it out for Fox Soul last night. You laid it out for someone else. Lay it out for yourself.
Yeah.
You can do this. You can do this.
Can I say something, y'all? I just want to say this. It's a lot of people in this chat who support content creators. It's a lot of people who are content creators like me and Conscious and maybe other people on this panel. But let me say this. Once we figure out our value, listen, they wouldn't have called Funky if he didn't provide any value. They called him because there was a value there. What I'm saying is, even if we made it, like for Funky said it take him a video and a half to make that money. It might take me and you, Conscious, 3-4 videos to make what we making.
Right.
However, what they know is what we don't know. What they know is, hey y'all, there's value there. Let's go grab them and bring them onto our platform. Because if not, they would not have any content creators on there. They would have had Claudia, Al, and another celebrity. But they knew that the new media and the new outlet is content creators. This is what I'm saying.
They want you because they want your
Absolutely.
followers, and they want your potential followers. They know
exactly.
That
hey,
Nosy. They see how you all, people like Nosy, Conscious, you guys, the potential you have you are growing. I bet you they could tell you the trajectory and the rate at which you're growing.
Absolutely.
They could tell you that.
YouTube can tell you that.
You know how I know? You know how I know you're right? You know how I know you're right? Because let me tell you how I know you guys are both correct, right? Look at what's happening with people who are in traditional media or people who are in traditional, aspects or genres of entertainment and stuff like that, right?
I know what you're about to say.
Everyone wants to have a podcast now.
There you go.
Everyone wants to have a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
So, you know what I mean? Will Smith, this man is a freaking multimillionaire, right? Who- Everyone, all these people, Shannon Sharp, all these people, like we can go down the list of everybody who has a podcast now. This is
and
the
the
wave,
podcast companies are throwing money at these
okay? But
celebrities.
this is the
When you
thing. This is the
realize
thing. There
you
is
are the
value.
revenue.
There is value in new media. And here's the other thing. Again, we'll go back to Funky Dineva, and he has been on this platform on YouTube for what, 13 years? 12, 13 years solid. Okay.
I feel
Now,
like it's longer than that.
He said
I
it was
think it's
14.
13, could be
He said
14,
14.
something along those lines. But either way,
But even
he is.
before YouTube, he
Here's
was
the
shooting
thing,
that blog
and
before.
look, look, when it comes to YouTube, it's a lot more nuanced, and I think that people really need to understand how it works as it relates to algorithmic things and stuff like that on YouTube. It's not just, hey, I've been on here for 13 or 14 years, or I have this amount of subscribers, or this, that, and the third. It boils down to engagement. And there are content creators who have 1 million plus subscribers that don't make as much as somebody who has
Well, that's absolutely
300,000 subscribers. You
That's
understand what I'm saying?
also due
And
to
better tell 'em.
YouTube
and
their policy.
I don't want to
But
get
we're
go
still
too far into it, because I don't want to monopolize the conversation. But everything that we're talking about, these people at Fox understand this, and they know everything we are saying right now. They know
And
this.
they're probably watching this
I
live.
They're
don't
probably watching right now.
I don't know if I'm going to give them that level of credit for being that.
Child, you better, Conscious.
No, you
better give
better.
them that level
I
of
love you,
credit.
Conscious. I love you.
It's
I
their
love
job
you.
to know
But
that. It's their
listen,
job to know that.
listen,
Somebody's
sweetie.
job in that network.
Listen, the same way.
Hear me.
Listen.
Y'all hear me out. I'm hearing y'all out. Just hear me out. Just hear me out here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, because I first of all, I can see that they aren't really paying as close of attention as we're giving them credit to, because they're already out of the gate transitioning poorly. Like, their choice tonight did not even make any damn sense at all.
Well, here's the
So
thing.
who was available on short notice?
Before, I think that choice was a last minute
I ain't
thing.
even got into the minutia. I ain't even got into the minutia.
Mhm.
And keep it. Hold on, cause see, I gotta.
What you know, we
hold
don't
on,
know.
Hold on. Please, hold on, y'all. So okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, so hold on. I need to, cause
He's trying to fix it so he'll tell it. All right, Larry. All right, Larry.
He's trying to.
Okay, so here, hold on. So I do think that's happening, right? Okay, so how can I say this?
Allegedly.
I got no, not even.
Larry did it with pictures. You can do it with pictures.
Hello.
Look, y'all stop.
Let the streets stay conscious.
Stop. Hold on. Okay, wait. So there are things that are also, like, I am informed about certain things, and what my brain is struggling with is being informed, but dealing with the surface thing of what
Is it an optics thing?
is happening. I want to say also, though, just separating that, I still don't think we're having enough conversation about what do content creators who are not Funky Dineva need to be doing as it relates to
cultivating your own platform.
As it relates to larger opportunity. We do know that as Black and brown people, we don't have, and we aren't oftentimes afforded the luxury and the privilege of being informed properly about our about business, about the corporate dealings, about contracts, which is why so many Black talents have gone unnoticed or snuffed out of their intellectual property or have been bamboozled in the hoodwink because we're not informed in that way. And I just also want to add that there is something that bothers me about, because my issue a lot of times with these type of situations is that we are oftentimes still talking about privileged people having the opportunity to do the right thing. Well, once again, like, everybody else still be sitting to the base of the goddamn pyramid when it's all said and done. Like, when even because here's the reality: we only be champion behind a person. The people, all of the key players who be in situations like this, aren't even joining in a solidarity for collective impact, which shakes up the monotony of the root issues at work. So we oftentimes are like, okay, so we're going to do this for Funky. That ain't going to do shit for everybody else. That's whatever that looks like for Funky Dineva. And clearly Fox don't give a damn, because they said they didn't give a damn about his economics. They didn't give a damn about the viewerships he brought. Damn about none of that. They don't give a fuck. Hold on. He called their bluff, and their bluff was no. Bye. And we will figure it out. Now
they're willing to risk the fallout from this, and they'll find out in the next 6 months. That's when they will have to sit there and renegotiate Al and Claudia's contracts.
And did Adidas not do this with Kanye?
But I have to, by the way their content looks over there, I have to consider if I'm not even clear if what we think their objective is even what their objective is, because they're literally funneling money into shows that don't even bring in viewers.
But this is the thing. I believe that there are lower level people. Okay, this is what I believe. I believe that there are lower level people. Okay, who are the ones that are probably watching us now. Okay, who have spoken to corporate management and have said to them, hey, we need this, we need that. And it's the higher ups that are probably not willing to play ball. This is what I believe.
Higher ups that don't have the actual...
You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. The people who are the ones who are, the making the big money and stuff like that. No, are they watching content creators with 40, 50,000 subscribers, maybe here and there, but not like the lower level employees and stuff like that, who are the ones who are just like boots on the ground and really understand what's happening. Okay, so I will say that. Okay, I will say that. However, you know what I'm saying, it goes back to what we were saying before. There's a reason why someone like Funky Dineva was even chosen to be on the show in the first place.
What I want to speak to, C, right? Because I wanted to touch on that. So another reason why I don't think the network themselves, are as clever as we think. I'm gonna because once again, Fox, so honestly, ain't really making no sense. I really believe that this all is happening by luck. And what affirms that for me is the fact that it's only one show out of several segments that is even popping off, which means that they are weaning this shit. There is no actual strategy. There is no... It doesn't seem to me that there's any clear incentive or objective, really. There's just ideals being put on the wall, and hands that have the money to just fund ideas. But
do you want to know what I truly think is going on with Fox?
Hold on. Because here's the thing when it comes to Funky. And Funky wasn't chosen by the network. Happened to be in relationship with one who thought he would also be...
Oh no, that's true. You're very right.
Also a key Kiwi, which was Claudia. Claudia brought him and Al to the table. So
Claudia brought a lot of talent into that place.
This was just in terms of him even coming front. that was just off of friendship and Claudia being able to see, I got a funny ass friend here, I got a da-da-da friend here, the network is looking for a show to create, boom, boom, boom. And hold on,
negotiated Madison show too.
Hold on, because interrupting my, like, y'all interrupted me, is interrupting my actual thought process. If Fox Soul was focused and intentional in everything that they're doing, that it would not make sense for Al to also be employed either. He had no real equity on him prior to, aside from his marriage to Sarah Jones, which, all respect to Al Reynolds, is his claim to fame.
You're right.
Okay.
He makes no sense there from a socioeconomic, from a cloudy, from an intentional standpoint. It makes no sense for Al to be there, because out of all of the talent that can make, out of all the, because there are hundreds of Funky Dinevas, there are hundreds of large Black content creators who got subscribers by the millions, who got subscribers by the boats. Millions, hundreds of thousands of views. They really had to pick up the litter. This whole ensemble we're seeing was by chance. It was by accident, and the formula is not even replicated in anything else the network is fucking doing, which is why I know that this clearly can't be about what we think it is about.
But it's not, and can I tell you the reason why I think it's what's happening here? Okay, look at the name Fox News. Okay, Fox. Okay, Fox has a horrific reputation as it relates to Black people. Okay,
that is very true.
Horrible. So Fox Soul, just the concept of that is absurd. Okay, so let's leave that there. The New York Post, okay, is here. I live in New York. I live in Brooklyn, New York. The New York Post operates at a loss. Every quarter, every fiscal quarter, they operate at a literal loss. And you can go look that up, okay? I'm not making that up, okay? There's a reason why Rupert Murdoch owns the New York Post and has owned it for years and years and years and years, operating at a loss, okay? And I truly believe that the idea of Fox Soul, okay, doesn't really have much to do with them trying to cultivate Black culture, Black talent, or any of that. It's not, okay? I believe that they understand that they have to have some type of footing in the Black community, period, okay? And how far are they willing to go? They're not going to be that willing to go very far. They're Fox. I mean, did we forget who they are? It's Fox. You know what I'm saying? So let's understand that. Now, but do I think that Funky Dineva cannot still lobby for a fair wage and what he's worth? Of course. Everything still stands. What we discussed for this past hour or two still stands. But let's not forget who we are dealing with here. Okay? And why they have even a foot or piece, of themselves in our culture, in our community. Why are you here? You don't care about us. You really care about us? You can't believe that they care about us. Okay? So we need to understand that. Okay, and then we can still continue to lobby and negotiate for fair wages and fair, but understand, who these MFs are. Come on.
Okay, I want to get Right Champion here, and then William. This is a very riveting comment. I really appreciate y'all bringing it to this discussion. Right Champ, welcome to the platform. How you doing?
All right, thanks for popping me in. Yeah, so I was listening to the conversation, and I think I can bring this perspective. So I used to work at that station where, TGIF would record it like years and years ago. It's Fox 26 in Houston. And so The same general manager that was there then, he is now the general manager of Fox Soul. And so he's known for being a person that just doesn't take, mess or anything like that. Like he's known for, folks coming to him and asking for more money. And he's just like, okay, well, no. And then they leave and go to another station. And so he has that reputation. And I think that's why they chose him to be the next GM, because he's a very tight manager. And then Fox has like the studio in Houston that he manages, and he's a black man. And so I think that it's more of just a money decision. It's like, no, we're not about to pay you more money to do something where we can just, pay the bare minimum for the exact same thing. And then overall, Fox owns like Tubi. And so this is just really another grab at the black audience. So it's not, I don't think it's a big conspiracy. It's just really about dollars. So
wait, I didn't know Fox owned Tubi.
That explains a lot.
That explains a whole lot.
Yeah, so they own Tubi, and so this Fox Soul thing was just another part of that initiative to build a network out for black audiences. And so even when you look at Fox Soul in the beginning, you recognize like most of the programming was in studio, like all of the stuff with Tammy Mack and was it not K Michelle, whoever the other one was. But there was a lot of in studio programming, but they saw that they didn't need that. They were having this, they grew the platform without being in the studio and just being on Zoom or whatever they use.
Well, COVID proved that for a lot.
So why would I, invest all this money when I'm getting the exact same result from, investing the bare minimum?
So so then that also makes a lot of sense to me, because you said that they're just interested in grabbing at a black demographic.
Right.
Which we all know does not. If you're grabbing at or pandering to, obviously you're going to have discrepancies around inequality in any system like that, because it doesn't have anything to do with the actual upliftment and liberation of the very people you're pandering to. It's ultimately for self-gain, which is going to default to mistreatment regarding other parties for sure. And that's interesting. So
Conscious, I have another question for you.
Mhm.
I have another question for you. Based on what he said, because like some of the trade, articles and stuff that they that always come out like Deadline, starting back in 2022, they have been talking about the quote unquote change of direction that they were trying to go towards at Fox Soul. They were trying to open up to more sports and things. It's like they were trying, it's like, what everybody does. They hook the black community and because they know we'll bring in traffic and we'll bring this in and it'll grow whatever platform it is. And then they farm that out to the masses, right? They have been talking since, like I said, since 2022. You can see it, like I said, in the trade magazines and stuff, where their goal was to diversify and when they started getting rid of some of the shows, like he said, it makes sense of what I've been saying about the financials. What the gentleman just was speaking before, keeping the cost low, right? What you just said, not paying them. I don't care who you are. I'm not going to give you any more money. That jives with both of those things. It jives with them with cash flow, and it jives with them trying to go into another direction. They're not going to do anything to save Cocktails and Queens or to keep a Funky Dineva, because that's not the ultimate goal in the end. The ultimate goal is to appease the masses.
That's true.
So that's what I was saying before. Now it all makes sense to me, because they are not being profitable. And even if the New York Post is, operating in the red each year, it's still used as a weapon. It's still valuable to them in that it can change a narrative on any type of subject because of their news coverage across the country, across the globe. Well, Fox Soul, though we see the value in it, and they don't see that value because they can't use it for that purpose. And their only goal in starting it, which now I understand, which is probably why James DuBose left, because he wanted to have that, black source of in media, right? And when they really started that shift to this diversify and all of that, and he starts seeing them clamping down on the purse strings, all of it makes sense now.
Yeah, it's all coming. Yeah, everything that writes it puts everything that's been said here into now. It makes sense
Yeah,
why
it's so much
it
context.
looks the way that it all
Yes.
looks and why it's going down the way that it's going down. Okay, so my question to everybody, but I want to ask right champs. So with everything that you've seen and observed, like, I mean, what do you encourage Black creators to do as it relates to opportunities like these, and not necessarily creators like Funky Dineva who have enough equity to reason and ration? Like, what do you say to up and coming talent as it relates to working with bigger machines?
I think for me, I think that, it's good to have your own thing, but it's better to have something that has benefits. So like if you're working at Fox Soul for like Fox Corp, like I'm pretty sure that they have actual benefits. That's something that you may not have fully, as an independent creator in the same way. And they may even have 401k contribution or something like that. And so I mean, it's still good to have that if you can kind of do the same job. And I think that's where Funky was, where it's like, okay, well, I'm already set. I don't necessarily need that. But for somebody transitioning to being like a full-time creator, like that's a huge step. And so I would tell anybody that's a creator to still consider something like that, or at least pitch for opportunities like that, because you're still a part of that corporation. And I don't think Funky really used the platform for what he could have used it for. Like with Fox Soul, I remember him giving Al the opportunity to be on the red carpet at some of these events. And I'm like, why are you not doing that? Why are you not allowing this to be a springboard to the next level in your career?
He spoke about that.
He didn't want to do it though.
He said he
Yeah,
said
he said he didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it.
done those sorts of
Crazy.
things. He said that he got the offers. He on purpose turned them down because he'd done those sorts of things, and he had a specific trajectory that he wanted his career to go, and he knew that if he would give in and start doing those, that they would the more that they he did, the more that they would want him to do, and then he would be pigeonholed. He felt into that, and he had a clear path that he wanted to go down.
Hey,
And
Conscious,
again,
I'm gonna
he's
say
always
this so I
said
could
he
get
wants
off.
a lady of leisure. He don't want to
I'm
fucking
a
travel. He don't want to work all the
right.
time. This is why he's not on the same grind like Madison is. Madison likes to work. Dineva don't like to work. Dineva likes to get paid to do his little thing at the least amount of time it's going to take him.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off because I gotta go to bed and go, get up in the morning. But let me say this, y'all. For all the Black content creators in the chat, all the Black content creators on this panel, let me say this: know your worth. If you make $10,000 a month, you can afford your own 401k, your own health insurance, your own everything. Them people see more worth in you than we do. And I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna go ahead on and get off of this. There's a reason they grabbed somebody like Funky Dineva. It wasn't just because Claudia said, go get my friend. Trust me, they have to vet these people before they pull them up there. They know that the new wave is content creation. It's the same way they took over hip hop. They about to take over Black content creators. And it's gonna be the exact same thing. They signing these people to these deals the same way they signed these people to hip hop deals and R&B deals and all of this stuff. I just want everybody in the chat to know that you are worth more than what they trying to pay you. I don't care what it looks like on the front end. Like Focus said, you gonna pay on the front end or you gonna pay on the back end. But either way, you gonna pay. You see what I'm saying? So I would rather pay out my pocket on my own platform than to be spending all of this time. My media and my voice is restricted because I'm signed to this company and they say you can't say this or you can't speak. I'd rather make my little money, create my own 401k, get my own health insurance, da 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 da. YouTube pays good. And I'm a new content creator. YouTube pays good. YouTube pay more than your regular average job. So I just want Black content creators, like I said, to know their work and to just stand on that. And I feel like at this point, I don't agree with everything Funky say. A lot of things Funky say when it pertains to Black women, I'm not on that ship. However, in this particular part, I'm on Funky's side, and I'm gonna stand on his side. And I want other Black content creators to feel like, you don't have to go into these big media companies. They need you. You don't need them. Just like hip hop, you didn't need hip hop artists. Didn't need the big companies. The big companies needed hip hop artists. So I'm gonna just leave with that, y'all. I appreciate it,
Voodoo
Conscious. Thank
doll,
you so much for having me up. I
voodoo
love you.
doll,
Thank you so much.
voodoo doll. I love you too, but I would love for you and I and some other Black, especially with this subject coming up and these potential opportunities coming down the pipeline for us. I think this is a great time for, we should all do a show together. Like we should some Black
I'm with it.
content creators together
Thank you.
and have
Yay.
this conversation
Yay.
for sure.
I
So
think that would be dope. I'm with it. Conscious, hit me up. I'm with it. I'm with it for real. All jokes. Like I really want to do something like that because I feel like that's power in us, and
yeah.
we need to get together and do what we need to
And
do.
Nosy is already in the spirit of that. She's already talking about fuck all that. We can create our own shit, etc.
Exactly. I love Nosy.
So I think that this is a conversation that creators need to come together and get with. My email is very easy. It's my channel name at Gmail. Send me, like, email me so we can correspond, and then I want to get Nosy in on that, and we just need to put a show together and build upon the conversation.
Conscious, how about
I got you, baby. Let me get off of here, y'all.
One show for Wednesday, one show for Thursday. It's the different, different. That's it's almost like a network. You know what I'm saying? And
Hell yeah.
I'm with it. Y'all know I'm a communal bitch. I believe in getting in the mud. I am very communal. I do panels. I don't other people's shows. I'm with all that. Like I with all of it. But I
think Must See TV. You remember how we used to Must See TV? Remember everybody in the Black community knew where they were going to be when the Cosby Show came on. They knew where they were going to be when Girlfriends, when Martin came on. They knew what nights of the week. Those shows rarely crisscrossed each other, so we had more programming, right? So it was this night of the week over here, this night of the week over there. I'm saying treat it like a network, even if you all create a different channel.
This is why this is crazy to me and striking me, because I've been talking about this from the top of the year. I came into 2023 saying that one of my goals was I wanted to even turn my own platform into a network. I wanted to bring other creators on. I wanted to have a political segment. I want to have a pop culture segment. I wanted to give other content creators that I believe in and who I believe have it and who are efficient and well at what they do. And we build a network. And like I'm with all of that. Like I'm with all of that. But we're gonna have to talk about. But see, this is why I want me and Voodoo Doll and Nosy and all of us to get together and have a conversation, because
get you a marketing person, sell ads.
What's interesting to me is like all of us are in a sense signed to a corporation, and that's Google. And to be honest, Google pays well, but I also feel like it also don't pay creators really for their worth, even though
better talk about it.
It does.
Guys, go look at
well.
Y'all have to go look out.
It does pay well, and it does pay us way. And we are in a position that everyday working class people are not in. To Voodoo Doll's point, we are able to bank and live well, but also like YouTube is just like Google and YouTube is just as fucked up. Like they're fucked up.
For a while.
Take a look at the channel Midas Touch. It has nothing to do. It's a politics channel, okay? But I'm not telling you to look at it for the content. I want you to take at the context and the structure. It's called Midas Touch, all one word, I believe. That is the
you watch that channel too?
Yes, that's the model. That's the
model. Another good one is TYT.
Yes.
Another good one is TYT. They started out like 20 some odd years ago.
Hold on for a minute, William. Nosy. There was a Nosy in the background, but I know you were on vocal rest. I want to make sure that was you in the green room. Is that you in the green room, boo? Let me know in the chat if that was you in the green room. Okay, go ahead.
Conscious, I'm gonna get off of here, but look, I'm gonna send you an email tonight because
Yes,
I'm about to go to
email me,
bed. But I'm
boo.
gonna send you an email tonight, and then
Okay.
we can work on it. And I'm here for it. Black content creators. Know your work, and I'm getting out of here. Love y'all.
And
Thank
Voodoo,
All right,
you
y'all.
take a
everything.
look at Midas Touch too.
I
While you drifting
will.
off, I just the structure of it. They have different shows geared for specific times. They have, and it's all each show is different. I'm telling you, that's the model.
I take a look
They do
at it.
they do
All right, y'all.
in
Let Voodoo Dog go to
shows.
damn bed.
I'm telling you,
Bye,
now
y'all.
go to
I'm
bed,
going to
go to
bed.
bed.
I'm already in the bed.
Y'all.
Bye,
But
y'all.
but
Bye,
Conscious,
y'all.
the model for the money, they do in show commercials, which means it cuts the Google, right? So what they, instead of cutting to commercial, they sell the ads or whatever, and they do the commercial within the show.
Yeah, they do sponsor. It's sponsorships.
Yeah,
Maddie's been
it's
doing
their
that
own
for
sponsorship.
years now.
So coming from the corporate background myself, just this year alone, this past year, I was able to create a space for advocates with disability through the corporate structure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm now officially its top dog. I'm the director of this space that I created. So we just had our first meeting last month and it popped off well. We're still working through some kinks through the restructuring. We're still doing a whole lot of just sitting together and trying to really figure out like what's our next step, how we want this to work. The problem with Fox Soul, at least for me, is that it has no structure. It is what Conscious said. It's very much they're just winging it. If you don't have any structure, if you don't have any foundation, how can you then afford to have all of these other different shows that are on there? Now, if you want representation, we got representation. But to get representation on a network like Fox Soul, it's literally like, don't hold your breath. Because even though they're on there, they're not on there for the reasons that we want them to be on there for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
And he's right. It's a
one,
hodgepodge. They don't
yeah,
know what they're doing with how
they
to
don't know
structure.
what's exactly. So one of my big goals for the space that I've created was to make sure that in order to make the government listen to people with individuals with disabilities, we needed to shake the table. We needed to actually create our own voice. We needed to actually utilize our time to make the government understand, hey, we ain't playing with y'all. When we say this is what we say, you gonna do what we say. So, but that's the ultimate end goal, is to get the government to sit down and shut up and actually listen. Because they have a lot of, we know what's best when it's clear that you don't. So I wanna take Funky Dineva out of the context and put it into the context that I'm talking about now. The corporation part of it, that to me it's the government trying to dictate to us how we should or shouldn't live, and I refuse to accept that this is the way I need to live and how I need to spend my money and the way I need to do certain things according to their rules. Because we all know the government can't do shit unless they get approval from somebody on the higher end, and we know who that is. That's the one that got the money. That's the one that got the money.
So you're equating the corporations to the same as the government, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So when you are in the space that Funky is in, albeit at a higher level, because he obviously makes more money than all of us combined, I thought what Funky did was to wake up the Black conscious, but I don't think he did it in a way where it's educational. I don't think he was actually, in a way, teaching people, okay, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it, and this is on the level of success. And don't do it my way, because my way was getting into the game through a friend. But because I've been on YouTube and because I've had these opportunities, here's what you need to do.
Okay, so hold on. So put a pause in it right there then, because this is where what I was going into with Voodoo and why I want to have a conversation with us as content creators about all of this. And I'm glad that Nosy done hit the link too, because and Nosy, this is where I'm gonna need you in at. So there's this idea that we can bring together our collective powers and talents, which we know unequivocally will be off the fucking chain, and we will have the block hot as fuck in these streets. It obviously will be legendary as hell. But are we ultimately also putting ourselves in the same predicament that Funky was in, hypothetically, with Fox the network, by also creating that on a Google platform that regulates us, that we also don't control, that also has the power to censor, to delete, to flag? Are we because I'm going to assume, with everything being said here tonight, that even that idea, if we're really wanting full control, creative power, etc., that even though we could still use a Google platform, that I don't know, doesn't there need to be something that's actually also in our very control, that's in our actual hands, even if we want to pimp out YouTube?
Yeah. So if that's the case, then I mean, it's either have a whole network that we own, which I don't know how the fuck we would do that, or use Rumble, because Rumble really don't censor you. I already have a Rumble channel. That's all I could think of. But other than that, or have our subscribers to spam the fuck out of like HBO or somebody that will give us a platform, like a late night spot. I mean, we have enough combined subscribers to do it.
What about Roku?
Or Triller or Twitch? There are other platforms. And good evening, Happy New Year to everybody.
If we're talking about not being censored, Twitch censors as much as YouTube. I lost a Twitch channel before and a YouTube channel before.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Twitch censors. Rumble is the one that don't really censor you and bother you about what you say. But or other than that, honestly, I mean, go big or go home. Have all of our subscribers start a petition or something, or email or something to one of these platforms that won't censor us and give us like a little late night spot. I think that could work. Honestly, to be honest, as much as Zeus is ghetto, I could get a late night show on Zeus. Nobody's doing celebrity news on Zeus. Wendy Williams is gone, and we can say everything that we want to say and make money. I don't see why we wouldn't, because everybody else is going to Zeus to make money. Why the fuck we can't get it? I don't give a fuck if it is.
But can I ask a quick question? Why can't you guys make your own media company? Like, you guys are freaking intelligent, dynamic. You have everything that it takes. What does it take to make a media company? If the media company is starting off small, okay, so what? You guys have, between the two of you, have the people who are so loyal. I can follow both of you guys. People who are so loyal and love you guys so much. Why couldn't you make your own media company? Why couldn't you start your own media company, even if it starts small? What's stopping you from doing that?
I'm gonna finish what I was saying. Consciouztv, honestly, I think that Zeus could be a good start. I think that we could do reviews on all of the Zeus shows plus the celebrity news. They would love that shit. That would give people more of a reason to come to Zeus. They need us more than we would need them anyway. That'll be a good start. Who knows where the show will go from there? But I think definitely starting like with Zeus, it'll be have our subscribers go to the Zeus Instagram and spam the fuck out they chat. We have enough subscribers to do it. I bet you they give us a show. I bet you they do. And our content would be first about the Zeus shows, which they already own Zeus watching the shows. So come listen to us talk about them. And then, the rest of the celebrity news.
Something is making me wet about that.
I'm telling
you're on it.
And what we do when we're on Zeus, we have to have it in the contract that they let us promote our individual YouTube channels. And so we still
have a really good fucking idea.
We still have our YouTube platform, but we have a show on Zeus. I'm telling you, if we just start, like, I don't know if it needs to be a petition or just ask our subscribers to go over there. But I just know, me being a person that's real spiritual, spirit be sending me messages. I told you, my spirit guide said do it. So I'm just telling you, I think that'll be a good start. I think HBO would be cute too. But I think we want to start with something. I think Zeus. I don't care how much people say Zeus is ratchet. Zeus is running up checks.
They are.
They running up checks.
Let's get that Zeus check. Yeah. They with the content, and this honestly, there because I talk shit about Zeus as well. Zeus got their issues. They are running those checks, and their platform does. It is in the vein of the energy that we come with. So
yeah,
I think it is a match on that level. So we need to get together and brainstorm down to the ground.
This is what we do first. We start rotating on our channel. We do the show starting here to let them see what it'll be like. Like if it's gonna be me, you, Voodoo TV, do one show on your channel, one on my channel, one on her channel. That's our portfolio. Now you see what we bring and submit that to them. We could get that shit done in the next 3 days. We could get that shit done in one day. If we got 3 hours to put in, 1 hour on your channel, one on mine, one on hers. And that's our shows. And then we send that to them and let them see how many people fuck with our content. And my subscribers are crazy. All my subscribers will email. That's how we got Jennifer Hudson on The Real. It was my subscribers constantly emailing and bothering The Real and bothering the blogs and shit. They will do it. If I go over there and say, look, y'all, we about to go over here and spam Zeus, they will do it. We need to call the show something. We can't just say, oh, we need Consciouztv, Nosy, and we need to call it something, give it one name, and tell them to go over there and spam the fuck out of them. They want the content. They got to show light skin versus dark skin. That's garbage. That's garbage.
And also, like Nosy was saying,
hold on for a minute, William. Nosy, what is your today looking like Wednesday?
I just go with the wind. I'm over here with fibroids and, trying to not bleed to death and need a blood transfusion. But other than that, I'm good.
I'm going to send you my number through DMs tonight. Call me at any point that is convenient for you on today so we can start unpacking everything.
Yeah.
And get situated. And Voodoo Doll also just emailed me as well. So we might be able to do some group calling and talking and figure things out and start piecing shit together.
Or start a group chat on Instagram and add Zeus to the chat.
That part.
There it is, right there.
See? Those ass is gonna be the brains of the operation, bitch. Okay, hands down, she gonna be the brains of the operation,
Listen,
bitch.
I'm telling you, I got this woman on The Real. I know how to stir the pot.
Okay. Wow, this is a lot. Oh my God, Nosy.
and Conscious, if you really need, if you need somebody to write up the shit, make it look good, and make it look at all fancy and shit, I'm your boy. Cause like I said, I come from the corporate world, so I'll be able to make that shit like make that shit look like any other. Even if I'm not on here, I will still be behind the scenes doing my sizzle. Okay.
Okay. All right. I hear you. All right. We gonna get it. Okay. So we gonna work. It's time to work. We gonna work. Okay. So no, these. Okay. So my question, I want to get Sin in here too, and I know Sunny is here too. No. So what do you think now, in lieu of like this conversation going on around working with a bigger machine? Would you take the opportunity to do TGIF?
I mean, honestly, it's not that I wouldn't do it, because it could potentially bring more subscribers, but honestly, it's not like they getting crazy views like that. They not getting crazy views like that. So I mean, yeah, but how long would that last? Like, how long would I be there?
As my boy who was here, I forgot his name. I think he had dropped down again. It's the pay, and then it's all the other, amenities that you get working at a corporate level at a situation. And then to Claudia's point, Claudia is busting bags down over there at Fox. So I'm also assuming that, with Fox Soul being a smaller entity and birth child of the larger Fox network, that there's plenty of elbowing and networking opportunities and show ideas and everything else. That is like, there's a lot of unseen potential in that. But then again, we had a panel discussion saying how also Black and brown people need to stand in solidarity. Do you feel like also we need to stand with Funky as a community? Like, if they ain't treating him right, then like, if you ain't treating one of us right, you can't have none of us.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense to be like, but honestly, if there was a content creator that said, well, look, I'm not really making no money, so I'm gonna go over there, I wouldn't be mad at them. But, like I said, I would go to a Zeus before I would go to a Fox.
Yeah.
So, it's.
Yeah. Wow. Anybody else want to add in to everything that's going on? Sunny and Sin, I know, are y'all here?
Yeah, I'm in here. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Hey, boo. So listen, I had to get in on this. First, let me start. I'm loving what y'all are spitballing right now about a pitch to Zeus. I'm here for every bit of it. I would throw in there that it would be kind of dope if y'all had it set up like E, like having your own form of E, where they're streaming what y'all do on your channels, but then in between there's combined shows where basically you all are doing a panel. You know how on E they'll do all kind of reports all day, it's just responding to what's happening in the news, but then in between they'll have like a panel of 4 people that are commenting on the day's news, and it'll be a couple shows like that throughout the day on E, right? I think it would be dope if y'all created that type of, relationship, with Zeus by doing that, like adding on to what Nosy was saying, like really make them fully incorporate your own personal channels in a significant way, not just allow you to advertise, but to allow that platform to be another way that you're being seen, that you're being paid, and like I said, and then have shows that have you all together, because the chemistry between you has to be seen in one go. It would be a misstep just to have everybody have individual things going on there. It definitely needs to be, like you said, the panel. So I'm loving it. I know y'all gonna get that done. I think it's a crazy good idea. But I do want to spin back to what you said earlier, or what you were asking about smaller content creators. For me, I feel like they should absolutely take the opportunity. Like, I think 2 things can be true at the same time. Like, it's true that what Funky is doing was the right thing to do, right? And it's true that we need to stand behind Funky on that, because the only way to change these situations is to literally start standing own business about each other, right? But you can also say that and simultaneously also encourage smaller content creators to take the opportunity to sit in that seat if they get it. You know, especially I feel like it's beneficial to someone who is not hitting the numbers that Fox is potentially hitting, or they're neck and neck. You know, it shouldn't be someone who is outpacing them in a solo position. You get what I mean? Like, to me, basically what I'm saying is that I think that position, we should encourage each other to apply for those positions. And I think that it should be people that are going to get more out of the relationship than Fox Soul will.
So funny, given that I kind of, because I'm kind of harking back on my just this past year with my relationship, with the space that I've created just for people with disabilities. One of the key things that I've learned throughout that process is you're not always going to get everything that you want at the very start. So what do you do when it's starting to look more and more likely like this may not be what you want it to be? Like, do you want it? Like, at that point, do you just say, I'm gonna give up and go home? Or do you actually take that shit and make it your own? Because that's exactly what ended up happening with me. Was I was on a committee, and then I started thinking to myself, oh, hold up, this isn't for me. Let me create my own. But here's the thing. It's all within the same fucking company. So, like, I just moved from that one space to the next in one company.
Yeah.
I never left the company. I just stayed where I was. Even though I was a member of one group, I literally went from that group. Asked the higher up, hey, can y'all, if y'all have it within y'all budget, can y'all at the very least afford me and some people that I personally know that would love to get this process started? Can y'all give us the resources that we need to bring this forward? And they greenlit it. They said we would have to talk to the government, and it worked out well for us. But I know that with this industry, it's always going to be, especially in the entertainment industry, especially in the news business, it's always going to be ups and downs and trips to the trade. So what do you do if at the very start you don't get everything you want out of it?
I feel like in any situation, you should always do what is in your best interest, and what is in your best interest changes with time. You know, Funky's situation is a perfect example of that. There's plenty of people that have had a differing opinion than what's been said most of the night. You know, there are people that feel like Funky made a mistake leaving, that Funky should have continued in this position. You know, so.
I think that my problem with using Funky is the fact that we are talking about somebody who's relatively more privileged.
Correct.
Like,
and that's my point. But it's because of that perspective. People are seeing it.
Funky didn't practice any of the shit that we are saying need to be practiced from the bottom up himself. He did everything he had to fucking do to get to where he is, which is to have the luxury to say, I don't want to do this and I can afford not to.
And that's why I feel like we have to keep that in perspective. And that's why I'm encouraging people to support, people in the community that are open to the opportunity. Don't judge them from the perspective of what was good for Funky, because as you're saying, Funky is sitting in a privileged position that most do not have.
Yeah.
So and even Funky acknowledged that. Funky said, I have to acknowledge that I'm in a position to have options.
And you know what? That is absolutely true. And I kind of applaud Funky for even saying that, because now a lot of these guys that were once content creators and have moved on into the industry will even admit that. You know what I mean? So I do applaud Funky for even admitting that and saying, you know, I'm in a space where I do have those options, and I know that others do not. And that's really where my problem with Funky comes into play, is you may have the option, but there are other girls that are coming up after you that may want to be able to do that. And how you got here is through relationship and connection. But you're not actually, but because you have those connections and because you are of a person of privilege and wealth, how are you going to teach a class to other up and coming content creators who want that? You know, and I feel
That'd
like
be another one of my issues, William, as well, because I'm just like, okay, Funky knows the ins and outs, but, and this is said respectfully, outside of Funky striving for his own goals, where is that actual not like organized knowledge and insight? Whether it's in the form of Patreon courses, whether it's in the form of whether, like, he can do however he want to do. But my problem also is, like, we be championing behind these more privileged Black people who also aren't necessarily coming back for the community either. On top of that, to add, like, so it's like it ends up being a double fucking whammy, because I'm just like, okay.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I think what Funky's doing is can be whether it's active or passive. He's setting an example and teaching us all a lesson. Whether he's championing for us or not, it's all how we perceive it. The fact that he said, "No, I'm worth more, and I'm gonna bow out." He's trying to, you know, call their bluff, and I think that's a way.
I just want you to keep in mind.
Yeah,
he's doing that
right
from the top, though.
Right. But it's not like he
because he didn't have none of this, because he didn't have none of this wherewithal when he was getting fired from Sister Circle, and he had to sell washers and dryers and pay his rent, and he was allowing himself to be dragged on VH1 Jocelyn, and he was pussy popping, once again doing what he had to do. He was talking none of this shit. He gets that's the lesson, and he makes that clear in that audio that I recognize. I have the privilege to say what I'm. So I want us to remember that even he is saying, I'm not y'all at the bottom. I'm not y'all at y'all origins. I'm me at me level. Y'all. So I'm speaking from a place of hierarchy and a place of privilege.
Which I think we should all strive to get to a place of comfort where we can be like, fuck this. I'm not doing this because I don't have to. And that's what I think that's the perfect example. The fact that we can follow Funky's career. And like you said, that's a perfect example of you saying how he was dragged. Well, it's because he felt at that point in time where he was financially, mentally, spiritually, that's what he had to do, continue to do until he was able to get to a point, which again we should all strive to, where we can make choices. We have choices, and privilege is having choices, multiple choices. But it's not like it was handed to him. He worked to get those choices to be able to sit at the top. You know, it's not like he was handed to it by his family or his parents, and he grew up wealthy, and then he's like, nah, I don't want to do that because
who the hell was Funky standing with when he was on his way up? He wasn't
right. He was working for himself. Right. He's out for himself.
He was standing for him. He was advocating
which he should be. He should be, because he
which is clearly where he is.
But clearly, and I'll go briefly back to what you're asking about going on Foxhole. And I say, yes, you do it, because just like Funky, he's out for himself. Now, what he does with it, you know, in the community, that's on him. That's for him to decide. But the fact that you should never turn down an opportunity, and then I think that's a lesson that we can learn from Funky, and we can also definitely learn from T.S. Madison. She got her hands at all the pots because exposure is exposure. Even though it may not work out, you go. That's led to another opportunity. And if I say, you should definitely go on Foxhole or anybody, any Black content creator, smaller channel, go on, even if it's just for one day, because that's going to be worth. It's going to be worth it in the long run, because in the end, what you can guarantee, if you can't guarantee anything else, you're going to have exposure to more people. You're going to have access, and that's really what's the dollars and the cents, is the access, you know. So you go, and then also I was thinking, so say they invite you back and blah blah blah, and then you have to do, with like any job, your research. Look to see what it costs, or what's the pay for someone in your position with your amount of experience. And to be honest with you, if I were you, Conscious, or whoever who's interested and maybe they're offered the position, is to reach out to Funky and get his advice, because he's the type of nigga that I think would be like, let me tell you. Funky like to talk and Funky like to listen. So it's like I would not doubt that if you reach
in economics,
right, if you reach out to him, say, hey, either I'm going on or I did one show, what do you think is the appropriate action financially? Because clearly you know what they pay, what they're willing to pay, what they're not going to pay in your position, and give them your resume and have them that's something that can be done in 5 minutes in a DM. And I have no doubt that he would answer you. So it's like, you have to set up your boundaries. It's use them like they're gonna use you until it does no longer suit you. You know, put in your energy as much as you feel is necessary to grow as a content creator and as a person, and get, what's that saying? I can't remember what it is. Do it until it no longer serves you, and that's clearly what Funky did. And I think we can all learn that lesson. This ain't serving me.
Okay, so I want hold on, wait. I want Jonathan to speak into that, because he hollering from the chat. Jonathan.
Okay. All right. So like Shauna is saying, Shauna is speaking all the truth right now about Funky and Madison, for that matter. Listening to what you've been speaking about with the other content creators, my perspective from watching Madison and Funky grow their platforms and all those things is they both said time and time and again, as you are making your way into those kind of spaces, you need to make sure that you have proper representation. Madison's always said, like, you need to make sure that you own all your intellectual property, you have that shit trademarked, you have to have proper so legal representation, and agent, that kind of thing, to negotiate these things for you so that you don't get taken advantage of like they were at certain points during their careers, unfortunately, because they were young and they were inexperienced, and they were kind of just like, oh, well, it's an opportunity. Granted, I agree with Shauna also, you should take those opportunities, but you got to be smarter about it. People are showing you how to take those opportunities and get the most out of them without catching any of the negative side, the negative aspects that can come with those opportunities when you are a small and up and coming creator. Basically, like, you don't want to get taken advantage of, because those corporations and these larger platforms, they will take advantage of you if they can.
I agree. I mean, I know the how, like, no, I mean, like, no, is it a we need to do what the fuck we need to do type situation? Like, whatever we need, not whatever as in whatever we need to do, but whatever we need to do to get put on, because to everybody's point, from TS to Funky, like we've watched creators put in that work. We have watched them not necessarily, like, you know, they ain't turned out a meal or a check. They are in the position they in because of God. And then see that this is cringy to say. To Steve Harvey's point, maybe even the Christian Keys, they played the game. Like people played the game, which gave them the privilege. Now we're also talking about destroying the system so that there doesn't have to be a game to play at all. So, you know, there's that part of it too. But I don't know, like from your perspective, Nosy, like, I mean, like, are you in the business of like standing with, or is it like, bitch, get it how you live?
Me personally, listen, I want money. I got a lot of Capricorn in my chart, a lot, and Capricorns love money. And my fucking sun sign is Aquarius. I was born on Oprah's birthday. I want money. That doesn't mean I'm gonna sell out though, or be something that I'm not. But that also doesn't mean that I'm gonna say, okay, well, I'm gonna, you know, stand in solidarity with people that I don't know, right? Who are not gonna pay my bills. So I mean, you know, I mean, people can look at it in a lot of different ways. But me personally, I want to be somewhere where I can be creative and express myself, and, you know, talk about people's business. And, you know, follow in I love Wendy Williams, follow in her footsteps and make my money. And other people got to get their money the way they got to get it too. Everybody got their own lives, their own rent, their own families. I got my own French bulldog. That bitch is greedy. I'm greedy. We need money over here. I make money. Don't get it twisted. I make money. But I know
to make all the money.
I want all of it, because millionaires have talked about it, how it's important to have 7 streams of income. That's what millionaires and billionaires have. I'm not letting go of no stream of income that doesn't cause me to go against my own integrity and morals for somebody else. Child, please. I say we need to get on Zeus, because we're not gonna have to be politically correct over there. We could say what the fuck we want to say. Hold up, do we cuss over here? Because you know I cuss.
You know we are cussing ministry.
Yes, we gonna cuss over here. No.
Like, this is why I got the monetization. Like, this is why I got the monetization turned off.
Exactly, and clearly you have not heard my mouth, Nosy, because I will rip off an F-bomb like somebody rip off a fart.
And baby, the way I be reading these motherfuckers on this channel, you got to hear me when I speak, honey. We cuss over here, baby.
I'm telling y'all, we need to get on Zeus and tell our subscribers. And what we do 3 shows, one on your show, one on my channel, one on Voodoo's channel. Take little clips from it. Get the fucking subscribers to do the clips. They'll clip that shit. We put it on our Instagrams, and we have them constantly tag Zeus to our Insta. I'm telling you, we'll have that contract written up, typed up, and signed within 2 weeks. They not gonna sleep on us.
Okay, but I'm telling you,
because if Bobby Lightston get
Bobby Lightston, Rolling Ray, Bobby and Rolling Ray.
But here's the thing, though. How much are they really paying Bobby Lights and Rolling Ray? Because they can say that they're paying them whatever they want to say, and that reality is probably not that. But I'm just saying.
Every time I see them people from over on Zeus, they holding up wads of money. I'm gonna be holding up wads of money too.
But you know, but looks can be deceiving.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go over there and see if it's deceiving. I don't let people negativity over me. I don't let people do that.
That part.
Yeah. Don't talk negative somewhere else. Don't speak that shit over me.
We're gonna go over there and see, honey.
I'm very spiritual.
I'm saying go explore, but have
don't speak that negative shit over somebody else. Don't speak negativity over me. I don't let people do that. People be haters. They be low-key haters, and they be having an evil eye. Go take your evil eye and evil tongue and speak elsewhere. We gonna run up a check. We gonna run up a check. Period.
I swear to y'all, nosy is me when it comes to certain shit. I'm like,
Don't bring
bitch,
that
I
shit
don't
to
give a
me.
fuck. Don't tell me about that shit. I
Nosy
want to see
said,
for
baby,
myself.
gonna go and see.
You don't go to fuck and see, because
Gonna
one
go
thing
and
I know for
see,
sure, even if it's not a whole ton of fucking money, they got a whole ton of subscribers that will come over to our channels. Go speak negativity over somewhere else. All the people, all my subscribers in the chat, just put number 7. Y'all know that's my life path number. Just put number 7 to bring some luck and some good fortune over this life. You don't do that negativity, honey. Go speak negative somewhere with them. What if we don't do shit listening to you and don't get nothing? Yeah, we gonna get
honey.
And that's what I mean.
That's what it is.
I'm on the
That's
same
what
wavelength with nosy, is that even beyond the money, like there are other equities involved. There's other currencies aside, also just from the physical cash. Like there is the visibility, there is all of the leverage from working with a bigger machine that brings all that back to us. I mean, even Natalie Nunn also is another one. Hell, she came off of a bigger machine, then got independent as hell, and then ran, to Nosy's point, right on over there to Zeus, where she could cut up. And yes, she's still flying Spirit, but that's because Delta don't be available sometime. It ain't because a bitch can't afford to be elsewhere. And yeah, you know, and there's still a lot of leverage for her, even as someone who has ownership and stake in the Bad Girls brand at that point of remarketing. So it's literally about righteously being opportunistic and thinking about all of the ins and outs, the gains, the L's, and there's going to be no path that we're going to be able to carve out that has all perfect wins. There are obviously always going to be pros and cons, no matter which way, but it is about exploring those wins and exploring, okay, like, is there a mass, are we going to get a bigger bang for our buck? Or to Funky's point, either on the back end or the front end, long as it's an end where there's a boom, then
Conscious, I have a question for you. Because you know I'm all about visibility for people, for Black melanated people with disability as well, honey. So when it comes to the media space that hopefully we can create in this space and time together, because 2024 is gonna be our year. Yes, you heard it correctly. I said our year. Because for as long as I have been on this platform and got my own platform, it has been such an enlightening journey for me. So here's my question to you. Do you think Zeus will give a damn that so long as they cutting the check, baby, we can get it on and popping, we can drag, and we can do whatever the fuck we gotta do to keep that check flowing on it? Even though, yes, I'm in a wheelchair, and yes, I have a disability. Do you think Zeus would give a damn?
So you didn't see Rolling Ray rolling his ass around Zeus?
Thank you. I was wondering who was gonna say it.
That's true.
That's
y'all got me there.
Baby, you are safe. You are safe in that space. And understand, as a nurse, they ain't coming to fuck with you unless they gonna fuck with me. And don't nobody want this 50-year-old smoke these days, because she ain't got shit to lose.
Gotcha.
Zeus.
And and to that point, let me a couple things I wanted to rep off, because I've been listening to y'all while I've been resting my eyes over here, and I like what I'm hearing, because if and to what Funky is doing, I think now there's just an enlightenment in the earth with us melanated brothers and sisters that are understanding ain't nobody gonna pay us our worth if we don't bet on ourselves. That's one of my journaling life lessons that I'm starting to learn. I mean, because we can, scared money, and I'm with Nosy on that. Scared money ain't gonna make no money. Go over there and find out. And this could be a pivotal turn that Zeus may be wanting to make some real content that outside of the stuff
and
that
they're
we
interested
watch film for. and let's keep it a buck. For I ain't 100% political, but I am, but I'm not. We got a lot of content and a lot of things that are coming down the damn pipeline that they're trying to ramshot us with up our pooper scoopers, that we as young black folks and melanated and black and brown need to be having some discussions. And they like to censor too much shit on all these other platforms. We need to be talking about some of the shit that outside of the ratchetness. I mean, because some of the egregious shit I've seen as a nurse will turn your fucking stomach. That's why I'm always gonna be an advocate of, bet on yourself. Have some content to be able to share some shit with others. When you go to the hospital, hell, make sure you got somebody there that can understand what the doctors and shit are talking about. Conscious, I was just having this conversation early part of last month, I think it was, with Jives, that I wanted to see you and him start to turn and pivot your content for the simple reason is this. You guys are onto something very I think more influential than what you know. And the fact that we're in a year now where some pivotal shit is happening. You got folks that got money that are talking about they're not being paid their worth in the entertainment system. We got Funky that we're now seeing that he can do the entertainment side as well as the streaming side. Which one fares better? It gives us some options if you think about it. And for those that have been wrestling with in the last 30 to 60 days, should I be a content creator? I got a little moniker for myself, and I'm wondering, what am I saying? Is there people wanting to listen now? Because I personally say we have wasted some time with some fuck shit of some content. Not to say that it hadn't grew some brands, but now that we got the numbers and we can prove that we are influential, we got a voice, we are deserving to be heard. All the shit you heard on the Different World episode with the Gina chick that was on there. This is the time, 2024, because now, let's be clear, everybody is feeling the pains of I'm not getting paid my worth. I'm not getting paid enough. Fuck these jobs. Fuck these hoes. It's time to do something different. And I just think that with all of you guys, Nosy, and the rest of you all, and the young man that don't want to classify you by your disability because I didn't see your name, but maybe
William.
it's the time now, because if we want to affect some change to keep from this thing we call life going back into the 50s, 60s, and 70s, because trust me, the non-melanators are trying hard as fuck in all arenas to make that shit happen. We may have to get on some place where we can talk it like we can talk it and enjoy the ratchet, because we can't live in a serious headspace 24 goddamn 7, but also educate and elevate.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, William.
I'm sorry, no, that was gonna say, Cynthia, my name is William.
Nice to meet you, baby.
Nice to meet you too. Nosy, I'm so sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, baby.
Oh no, it's fine. I was just gonna say, because when creative people, when our wheels start turning, they turn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm already seeing the visions of us interviewing people. Interview Taraji. We're gonna bring Taraji on the show. I'm just already seeing it. I feel like we could be in talks with Zeus by Friday if we play this shit right. But I'm just speaking what's being placed in my mind.
Speak. Look,
I'm telling y'all. I'm over here calculating the amount of money and calculating how we can all each get to 100,000 a month between the Zeus check, our YouTube, our Patreons, and whatever other shit, merchandise, whatever else we doing. How all that shit can calculate up to at least 100,000 a month. Child, when my wheels start turning, they turn.
And they do. And they turn.
Foxo needs to bring in a rotating chair. No, we need to bring in a rotating chair. We need to bring in a different content creator, maybe every couple of episodes, and let them weigh in on some things. we need to be interviewing the girls over on Zeus about why y'all over here fighting like that. Now we on the same network, but we want to up it. Why are y'all fighting? What can we do like to mend fences? Child, when I tell y'all that show will be big as fuck, the after show will be over there. After the girls get off Zeus and they watch the Zeus show, we bring on Roly Poly's ass. So Roly Poly, why did you bop that girl in her head, Roly Poly? Like, tell the audience. Go ahead.
Her homeboy is gonna try to he gonna have a fit, honey, over that.
Who?
And you know who her homeboy is? Big Teeth.
Wait a minute.
Big Teeth, honey.
Wait a minute. Horse?
Yeah.
He friends with her?
They did the song together.
Ooh, child.
A music video together. Oh yeah.
I don't think that Horse's music. Ooh, that's interesting.
Because you know he allegedly been trying to also get plugged over there too. So
no. We need to get on that. The fact that Nicki Minaj
say no more this. Say no more because we don't want to say too much shit. Say no more. Say no more. We're gonna chop it all up behind the scenes then.
It don't matter how much Nicki might have followed him. She sued me. I'm the clout. Let's go.
That part.
Let's go. I got her pressed.
Conscious, I do wanna say this. After this live is over, I'm gonna message you my number so we can talk.
Okay. Yeah, do that. Because I gotta get out of here
talk.
too. Because I got a flight. I got a flight to catch. I'm in LA right now doing shit. So I got to get out of here. I'm going to be headed back home to Alabama. I had to go to South Carolina to see my family. Then from South Carolina to LA. Not from LA to back home. And then I'm going to be on another flight in 4 days. So it's a lot going on. But Nosy, I'm going to hit you up on Instagram. We can make the group chat and all of that. Start communicating, start building, start talking the ins and outs, get everything situated. You got me pumped up. I am juiced up. I'm so excited. And I already know this has a magic on it because I can feel it. And I've already been in this mentality anyway. And you have just came in as my feminine counterpart and just articulated it out, and you're meeting it with that same fucking energy. So I'm here for it. And
so and my psychic just told me days ago that divine magic is around me right now. She just told me that.
Yeah, I'm with it. So I'm gonna hit you on Instagram, Nosy. I'm gonna hit you on Insta. Let's get together. Let's start doing what needs to be done. I'm going to have some time for sure to sit down tomorrow once I'm back home and I'm in my own space, etc., and to really be able to kick it and get into the minutia, and we just start figuring out. I'm so excited for this. And thank you also for even being here and for also making this a collaborative effort from me to you. And I'm just excited for this. I'm excited. I think that this is a genius idea. I think stuff like this probably should have happened a long time ago. So I'm with it. And God bless you. Spirit bless you. But be looking for me on Instagram. Also, shout out your platform because y'all, I got to get the fuck up out of here. But we'll reconvene this whole discussion. Obviously, this is a very multi-layered discussion as well, just in general when it comes to all of the things around what Funky's departure has just led to all these conversations. I think this is an important time, once again, for content creators, especially up and coming, raw, super talented content creators, to have a discussion around our economics, around our business, etc. Looking at Taraji, looking at Funky, etc. And I think these discussions are important. So I hope a lot of content creators who've been chiming in and been watching from the bushes, etc., continue to have. This is the right time because for all we know, like I said, people's lives are changed every day on social media. People go from where they are on the internet to mainstream media every day. So we don't need to be sleeping on educating ourselves properly and the importance of knowing what we need to have in place, from lawyers to copyright to LLC. People were going off in the chat about all that good jazz around the significance of of protecting your intellectual property, etc., because this is an actual business too. Like, there is a literally a corporate aspect also to being a talent. And once again, that's something that we really lack as Black melanated content creators, because we just don't come out of communities that oftentimes understand their economics and understand their business and understand that America is all business. So all of that, I hope that we continue the conversation. But before we get out of here, Nosy, let these folk know where the motherfucking Nosy resides.
Yes, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Nosy Ho Live. It's right there on the screen. That's the name of my channel. Come over there. We real messy, real controversial, but it's good content. So come over and subscribe.
Ain't nobody better for pop culture celebrity motherfucking commentator, but Nosy Ho, baby. Hands down to Beyonce of this shit. Period. Boo, look for my inbox on Instagram. I'm gonna hit you before the night.
Yeah,
Conscious, I'll also hit you up too.
That was Nosy Ho, you guys. Yes, I just also got your inbox too, William. So I'm gonna hit you and lock you in as well. Jonathan, I know you are advocating for it all, and I know you want content creators to get this shit right. You don't want us to be railroaded either. So trust and believe. We gonna have we gonna have that infrastructure in place, period. But is there anything else that you want to like say to all of this that's going on?
No, I want it all for y'all. I really do. I want y'all to get everything exactly the way that y'all want it and have it be 100% owned by y'all and not a network, so that in any moment, if y'all want to leave and go take it somewhere else, you could take it all with you.
You gotta have that selling power for sure.
I hear the
Oprah
magic
says
in the
Beyonce
visions
says
that y'all are having, and I want to see it come to all the fruition.
Absolutely. Beyonce said the most poignant thing that Oprah ever told her was, "Bitch, own every motherfucking thing. Own it. That's where your fucking moolah, that's where your power and your long term is gonna come from, is from your ownership. Own your management, own the whole, and that's why Beyonce runs her world, if not the world. She definitely runs hers for damn show. And that advice came from the queen of media herself, Miss Oprah. For sure. Sin and Shauna, anything that y'all want to add before we get out of here?
I'm excited about this endeavor. Conscious, you got me already locked in your DM.
Yes.
I'm always great for ideas, and I'm learning. I have more proximity to folks, persons, places, things, and situations than most of y'all even know. And as far as the ownership of shit, that is true. I am the great niece of the once blues singer Howlin' Wolf, and I know the stories of what my auntie had to do after he passed away in the late 70s to get the ownership and the masters of his shit that Stax Records had owned and had passed off to their subsidiaries after that company went belly up. So, baby, I got stories. I got age and stories and historicals on my side. Hello.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. I'm gonna be plugging in with you, Sin, as well. Shauna, anything you want to add before we tie this up?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to watch this networking of ideas. I think it's really important to be intentional, and especially all these great minds getting together. And Nosy, I tell you, she will be the brains of the operation. She's got ideas. She got all of the ideas. And just don't forget, put your hands in everything. Everything. Don't ever turn down an opportunity. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
It's
all right,
better to get it now than have to fight for it later.
Right on.
That part. Well, I'm gonna bid y'all a farewell. I love y'all. Thank y'all. This was fucking amazing, legendary show. And you know, I know other content creators are listening in, and they're gonna be trying to assemble their own goddamn Avengers, baby. But we coming, baby. The nosy is coming, bitch. The conscious is coming, baby. The voodoo is coming, baby. We gonna have the voodoo for you, bitches, baby. It's coming. We coming. We're coming. We're coming. We're coming. All right. So I'm about to hit you up, nosy. I'll see you all later. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh, okay, y'all. So happy New Year, y'all. We wishing Funky the best. We wishing TGIF the best. I think we just need to keep in mind that once again, it's 3 sides. That's all I'm gonna say. It's Funky side, it's who write his check side, and then there is the truth. Okay. So, but nonetheless, like Voodoo said, know your worth. Always advocate for yourself. Always advocate for fair treatment of yourself. I'm the kind of person, just treat me accordingly. I don't necessarily want a privilege. I don't want to necessarily be unnecessarily accoladed. I don't mind working for whatever I want. I don't mind doing what I need to do to earn my spot. But to Taraji's plight, to Monique's plight, I just want what the fuck I work for. I just want what I work for. You ain't gotta, nothing less, nothing more. I just want what I work for. That part, all right. I hope that the fans don't make this a Claudia and Al issue. They're just bystanders in this matter. They do not deserve it. They do not deserve to be trolled. They do not deserve to be agitated and aggravated and have that energy projected onto them. If anything, y'all need to contact the corporate office of Foxhole, and y'all need to challenge them and express your feelings to them. But Funky Dineva has doubled down once again on the fact that it's all love between them. Claudia, Al all confirmed that. And I think for us content creators, both large and small alike, these are conversations we need to have. We need to be unpacking what has happened here and, you know, speak about this shit and talk about this shit, because all of us being here as content creators, we're in business. Even if we don't understand the business we in, this is a business, is what we now understand. This is a full-on business. And what I take away, if nothing else, from everything going on with Taraji, everything going on with Funky is, bitch, it's time for me to truly understand my goddamn business. Okay. I'm out here getting to the business. And but I need to be, even for myself, I need to be more intentional about understanding the business that I am in. So please, if you are a content creator, even if you're someone thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, period, becoming an artist, content creator, yes, this is not just about being talented. It's not just about the shallow, visible parts of what we do. There's money involved. There's branding involved. There's business involved. The level of branding, money, and business that can also be life-changing for you. And a lot of us as content creators being shortchanged also is partially not only due to the fact that Google sabotages their creators just like any other greedy ass corporation does, where it fucks over and pimps out and looks at its worker bees as its hoes. But it's also in part the shortchanging is due to ignorance. A lot of us don't even know that we're sitting on $1 trillion brand. Nosy ass is clear. Nosy clear, baby. Okay. I'm clear as well, which is why I'm working my ass off and doing all the things I'm doing, honey, because I know where I can go and what I can be. And I've already seen all of the signs and symbols to affirm, like, that star in Bethlehem, bitch. Okay. It's to welcome me into the world. Okay. Nosy has awakened to that. This is a beautiful thing. And all content creators, man, believe in yourself, bust your ass, and yes, pick up those books, sit into those workshops, sit into those seminars, understand the business that you're in. And to Funky's Dineva point, baby. Unlock your better self. Unlock the best and highest potential of your brand. That comes by way largely of knowledge. Knowledge is power. So I got to get out of here. I got a flight to catch, and I will see you all later on. If you enjoyed this, shout out to all of subscribe to William, subscribe to Nosy, subscribe to Voodoo. Y'all already know to show a nigga that is real, honey, and hit that PayPal and that Cash App. Shout out to my baby mother Tanya for the old nasty piece, a child support check, honey. She put that extra feminine energy, baby, on that child support check, baby. So if y'all enjoyed yourselves, send a nigga some love, hit the like, hit the subscribe, tell a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And once again, we're wishing Foxhole the best. And hopefully, you know, in an idealistic world, Funky and Foxhole can have a discussion, you know, and really, you know, have a productive discussion that's in the best interest of themselves and us. And, you know, we can kill two birds with one stone with just having open and transparent dialogue about the ins and outs, because it's just time for that. All right, y'all. Bye.